Test, test, test. Test, 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 test. There it is. Check, check. Hold on. Check, check, check. Nope, nope, wrong one. Check, check. There it is. Okay. Go figure. You step away from your computer for a little while. It updates. Even with the new software, at least it's much better to fix the audio on this one here with the microphone. But yeah, a little bit of an update there. Windows update. Go figure. Screws all my audio settings up. Everything should be working just fine though. Chat. Welcome back live. Our first live stream since the Expo. What an epic couple of days. I mean, for me, it was really shortened down to, a 48-hour window, not even that. I mean, I had a 24-hour opportunity there after my debacle on day one. But, I'm just sitting here looking at the names going through the chat. Captain Tango, Digital Merg, Zippy Zapple, all these folks, these fine folks that I met there in person at the Expo, and it's just so much. It's so awesome to put I know who's sitting behind that name now. Callie Simmer in the house. Good to see you, Callie Simmer. Good to see you as well. Wrong side's in the. I mean, I knew Wrong Side. I've talked to Wrong Side before, so get out of here, Wrong Side. Appreciate you, man. Good to see you. Wrong Side and I had a pretty sweet little shared cockpit situation, but man, that was so much fun. So we're gonna talk all about Expo, chat. That we're gonna talk about from my debacle, getting there, what I saw, what I learned, what I'm going to prepare for next time, and just kind of want to get your thoughts as well. So how's the post-trip hangover? It's actually good, man. It's just I haven't been able to catch up on sleep, dude. I mean, I basically had 3 hours of sleep for about a 55 hour window. Got some sleep on Sunday night, actually, but then I got up super early. I did my Raleigh turn. I didn't end up dropping it because I ended up dropping a trip that I had on Wednesday. So I dropped that one instead. That way I can be home for the 4th. So Wrong Side says, hope you dropped that trip. The operation is going to be poo-poo, Newark ground stop or ground delay with 210-minute delays, plus Boston, LaGuardia, and Philly. Yeah, I'm good. Wrong Side, I dropped it. I did my Raleigh yesterday, so I'm glad that I got rid of it. So we're free this week, chat. We are doing streaming. I'm going to try to get my voice back. It's a little bit hoarse right now. I'm sure it'll warm up here in a little bit, but I had a blast. I had such a blast, and to every single one of you that I met in person that came up and said hi, that came up and said, man, I don't like you because you don't like X-Plane anymore. You know who you are. I'm just messing. We had a great time, man. It was an honor. I mean, I was so humbled to be a part of that scene there.
Welcome back. Great to meet you. You should check in with Chemtrails. We spoke to Vatsimel Presidente and he said you should email him and he will fix everything.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, I will indeed. Thank you so much for that bank angle check. Was that Zippy on the bank angle check? I still can't proofread it. Is that you, Zippy? I thought I saw the Z pop up. I'm still working on that. Yes, I did speak. I did speak. Kept Chemtrails. He sent me a text. I'm going to comply with that here. But I've been kind of running around. I actually went and looked at something else. I had to do something real world stuff before the stream went live. But yes, Zippy, I will. Thank you, man. Zippy, again, pleasure meeting you too, Zippy. Flying all the way from Europe land. Chaos was there. It's just wild. Such a good time. So I don't want to talk about it too much now because that's what the whole point of this flight is. We're flying an Airbus. We're going to put the autopilot on at 400 feet, and we're just going to hang out and talk all things Expo. Gray Shirt, good to see you. Good to meet you as well. Thank you for the 23 months of support. U.S. Airways didn't win. I demand a recount. I know. I was actually kind of surprised that you guys voted for the CFM midness, but we'll rock it. Bill's Mafia, thank you so much. What's the verdict on a black box or Bluebird 7.5? Oh, we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it real quick. Real quick before we get to it, because I know there's just so many questions. Chad, this is the Providence scenery. I just picked it up before I got here. This is literally the hotel I stayed at right here. I stayed at the Omni, came out here. I rented a car, which I definitely shouldn't have done. Chris PT6, he's probably out flying. He was a smart one. He ended up taking an Uber, which would have been half the price of my rental car. I don't know why I rented a car. That was dumb. But this is a great scenery. So right across here is the Expo Hall. And we're just going to take a look at it. Now, actually, the Omni was connected. I actually walked through this little connection pass here up into the Expo Hall and up to the escalator. Up we go here. So, actually, I don't think you should be taking the wheelchair on the escalator, man, but rock and roll, buddy. Let's go. There are elevators. It is elevator accessible as well. But here is this is a pretty good representation of it. Flight 477. Good to see you and good to meet you as well. I'm broke now, dude. Flight Force. If I was a local, I would have bought that Throttletek, dude. I mean that was freaking sweet, dude. That or not Throttletek, sorry. Scalarchy throttle. That thing was awesome. That thing was awesome. I hope you love it, man. I saw the pics in the Discord. That's sweet, man. Digital Merc, good to meet you as well. Is there? Let's see. Rock City Strong. Chris PT6, there he is. Chris PT6. Hope your flying went well, man. Hope your flying went well. So real quick, I just want to show y'all, for those that weren't there at the expo, I wanted to see, I haven't actually looked at this scenery yet, but I wanted to see how accurate this was in comparison to what I saw when I was there. So let's do this for fun real quick, and then we're going to zap over to the airplane, and we'll rock and roll. So there was coffee available out here in the hall. I did have a critical failure. I will be bringing 2 spare shirts next time. So literally I came downstairs, guys, and within the first 20 minutes, I went and flew the Bluebird 7.5. Was one of the first things I did, and then I was like, I need some coffee. And I walked outside. I got a nice cup of coffee, and this gentleman, he just turned around kind of quick, like did an immediate about face. Boom, right into me. Coffee all over my all over my shirt, all over my jeans. So I had to Alt F4, go back to the room. I had to clean that off because I was going to wear that shirt non-revving back home. So I needed to I needed to go back and clean that shirt. Got it all cleaned up. Came back down with the with my spare T-shirt, which luckily I had, and then continued the rest of the expo day. I spent I was on the expo floor on Saturday from open, minus the T-shirt debacle. Went and had lunch with a few fine folks. I know Zippy was it Zippy? Yeah, no, it was Chaos. It was Chaos, Turk, and Chris PT6. We all went to lunch. Other than that, I was on the expo floor that entire day, so my voice is still recovering, but it was absolutely epic. I had so much fun, and we're going to talk more and more about it. Atul, thank you so much for the 14 months support, man. Did you check out the Windwing? Oh, yes, Atul, I did. We're going to look at it right here. I know there's a ton of questions. We're going to talk all about it. Save your expo questions until we get airborne. I'm going to be quick. We're just going to fire up the airplane. We're going to take off. We'll go autopilot at 400 feet, and we're going to talk all things expo. With Turk, thank you for the $5 super chat. And thanks for coming and hanging out with us, Turk. It was really a pleasure meeting you as well. Stop talking about the Scalarchy. I'm still regretting not doing it. Turk, dude, I don't know how you didn't do it, man. I don't know how you didn't buy that Scalarchy, Turk. That was so. I will say this about Scalarchy products. My first time seeing them hands-on. Some products I was very impressed with. And by products, I mean like the individual panels, right? Because I saw the whole cockpit. We did the whole cockpit thing. But the most impressive thing that I saw from Scalarchy was the throttle quadrant with the flap and the spoiler and everything. I mean, that was the closest to the real thing that I've ever seen. Now, I have comments about other panels and stuff, and everything is going to be slightly modified to the real thing. But that thrust quadrant from Scalarchy was epic. And Flight Force actually bought the floor model. So it was a Captain Tango. Good to see you. There's a lot of tangos. We have Captain Tango and Delta Tangos as well. But Captain Tango, it's a pleasure meeting you as well. Thank you for the support. And again, Turk, thanks for the $5 super chat, man. Yeah, Turk, let me just say this. If I drove locally and I didn't buy that throttle quadrant, I would be depressed for the next week. So good luck, my friend. Enjoy those CTDs. Okay, so here we go into the main expo floor. Let's see if this is, I think the main, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because they had all the stuff out here. They had coffee out here. Then, so I walked in right here. Let's see how accurate it is. So the first thing I did is I looked for Bluebird. So I came, Bluebird. These people were not here. I can verify that. I looked for them. They were not there. Bluebird was in the back somewhere, back corner. Let's see if I can find a Bluebird booth. No Bluebird booth back here. To my knowledge, it was back here in this corner. Captain AB, good to meet you as well, my friend. Good to see you here in the chat as well. Chris says, my flight went great, long day, but my buddy got ready for his PC-12 135. I'm on a trip to Iowa in the Gulfstream. Nice, dude. Freaking Gulfstream. Chris PT6, real world Gulfstream. Baller. We went to lunch and he's got his he had his Gulfstream shirt on. That's the ultimate flex. When someone wears a Gulfstream polo, it's just I mean, that's the ultimate flex. And it was awesome meeting you, Chris, man. I hope we get to hang out again, dude. You're not too far from me, right? So if you're ever in my area, man, do hit me up. I know you got my number, so I look forward to it. Here is the Bluebird sim booth. Chat. I flew the Bluebird 757 in a lap around the pattern. Pattern was pretty ugly. But I think I salvaged the landing. And I got to say this, other than it being yellow sim and needing an FT sim sound pack, just kidding. The sounds were fantastic. I was very impressed with it, and we'll talk more about it. I'm gonna save it. But yeah, Bluebird was there. A couple other things here. Yeah, these people were all here. So then the next notable booth I went to was the fly-by-wire booth. They did not have the casting couch there, but I did meet Chaos for the first time. So just before going to the 380 booth, Chaos told me to F off because I kept telling him that I was behind him and he should come say hi, but I wasn't actually there, which was pretty funny. But just some German humor and some Southern Texas humor. We got along great. So it was a pleasure meeting Chaos and hanging out at that fly-by-wire booth for a while as well. All right, so then from there, I did go check out this Patriot aircraft, which was fantastic. They had the whole airplane in the Expo floor like this. For those of you that are GA fans, it was awesome. So it was cool to see that. I walked around it. I'm curious to see where it goes. I don't do a lot of like backwoods GA stuff. But this looked very promising, and the way that Flight Sim is taking off, especially with our hardware now and all that stuff, I can't wait to see what becomes of this. I mean, Trent Palmer, you're probably familiar with him. They're basically modeling his airplane, which is awesome. Plane was facing the other way. Correct. The plane was facing the other direction, so unacceptable. Uninstalling the scenery. Carlito dropping 5 subs, and I got to give Carlito a shout out. Carlito was the first person that I met from this channel in person. So Carlito was the first one to spot me out. He spotted me before I even got to the Expo floor. I was walking in from the hotel, and I linked up with Carlito. Man, it was such a pleasure meeting you. I hope your wife is recovering well. I know you had some things to attend to, but it was awesome meeting you, Carlito, and thank you for the support, and I'm glad you had a safe drive home as well. It was so awesome. So awesome. Thank you for the memberships, man. Appreciate you. All right, so from there, I kind of walked around. I went over to FSS. This is exactly where, this is scary accurate, chat. Like, this is the FSS booth. I looked at the 727 ADV. I didn't fly it. I'm excited for it. It's a 727. A 727 with...
Hey, Cap. Speaking of Bluebird, I got to sit in the flight deck on the 75. I flew back home on my 6-hour flight after we landed at LAX. I'll post pics in your Discord. Plane is way long in the tooth, lol, but it's awesome.
Callie Simmer, thank you so much for the $10 bank angle check. Yes, it was such a pleasure to meet you as well, Callie Simmer. And it's awesome you got to take some pics in that 7.5 clapped out old school airplane. But looks like it was a fun ride back. I look forward to seeing those pics of you sitting up front. So fantastic, Callie Simmer. I'm glad you made it home. Glad I got to meet you. You had quite the trek out there as well, 6 hours. So that was fantastic. I look forward to seeing you in Minneapolis, the next one, right? The next one. So Callie Simmer, thanks for the $10 bank angle check. I appreciate you. And we'll look at those pics here soon as well. All right. So from FSS, yeah. Oh, what I was going to say about the 727, the ADV, the digital PFD and heading ISIS thing, whatever it is, I can take it or leave it. I hope I can use the 200 ADV with still round gauges. I don't know. Obviously, I'm going to pick it up. I'm excited for it. I love the bucket reversers. I'm not super thrilled about the updated panel, but I know what they're trying to do. They're just trying to make it, more user-friendly, which I get. Windwing, this is not exactly how it looked, but they had a huge presence. We're going to talk all about Windwing here in a minute. I'm not going to talk about all these devs here because I want to save this for the stream. That's the whole point of the stream. I'm just looking at the scenery. So Windwing was there. Any Builds was here. I looked at the Any Build stuff for a little bit. That was pretty cool. X-Plane was over there, I believe. I didn't actually go to the X-Plane booth. I kind of just... I don't know. I just forgot, I guess. I didn't go to the X-Plane booth. But I did see, so I came over here, and I was looking, I came to talk to Nick. I came to talk to Nick at the Black Square booth with Just Flight. I apologize. I don't know if there were any other, I know there were other Just Flight folks there. I wish I would have spent more time over here, but I was just getting pulled in 100 directions. It was awesome meeting Nick and chat. I got to see the the Fokker F100 flying in the sim. They had it there available for flying. I didn't personally fly it. You know, there was a lot of people there that are super excited to try hardwares and peripherals and stuff. So I kind of, you know, I wanted everyone to I didn't want to stand in line and, you know, take someone else's slot. So I watched people fly it around, and I got to see the F100 in action. Super jacked about that. Oh, speaking of jacked, I also, when I was over at the Indy booth, they had the 220 as well. The 220 was up and running as an early access build. That was fantastic to see. I actually flew on a 220, my first time. I've got my real world opinion of the A220 as a real world airplane. We'll talk about that later. But the Falcon 50, how could I forget? Right here, Falcon 50. I did see the Falcon 50. My goodness me, fantastic. PMDG, we'll talk about that later. One thing I want to talk about, this stage was right here. This was awesome. So I was talking to somebody there in the crowd, and I think Turk was with me, and Tolis and Aerosoft were on the stage talking about the A340 with Tolis systems coming to Microsoft 2024. So I am super excited to see some Tolis implementation. Tolis was the first developer out there on the X-Plane days that really kind of valued anything I had to say, if anything. So that, I mean, they really passionate about their airplanes and their systems that they use. So, and I've been saying, you know, Tolis has been great forever. You know, I've obviously moved on a little bit in terms of what platforms I like to fly. However, it doesn't really mean Tolis is any less. But now that they're actually going to be bringing some stuff over to 2024, I'm even more excited for that. So I love it. I absolutely love it. But yeah, they were doing a presentation there on the stage. Meridian, I looked at the Meridian stuff. We'll talk about that. But yeah, this is all pretty accurate. Thrustmaster was there. I didn't see much of anything. There wasn't really much innovation. Moza, we'll talk all about that. We're going to talk about everything else. But yes, this is a very accurate representation of the Expo floor, and this was just fantastic. I had such a blast. So we're going to go ahead and we'll pick up some coffee, and once we get over here, we won't spill it on our shirt, and then we'll go back down the escalator, and we got a plane to fly, chat. We got a plane to fly. Save your questions for everything there about the Expo, because we're going to talk about it on our cruise down to Hotlanta. Yeah, my feet are killing me, Zippy. Let's get to the airplane. Let's go get in our rental car. I did not rent this Porsche over here. I think it was a Porsche. It's under the thing here. But, I mean, this is so crazy. Yeah, I walked right up here after, I was walking in. So after we had dinner, I was getting ready to walk into the hotel, and then wrong side nabbed me. And I talked to him for a bit there. So I don't know what this is going to do to our sim. So let me go ahead and reset the drone camera. Everything may be like a stutter load mess here, so I got to load everything back in. So let's just let it do its thing for a minute. And then we'll hop in, we'll fire up, and we're going to go. 2026 and MSP, I am excited, Velociraptor. I love the MSP announcement. I love Angel Food Donuts. I love that it's in a cooler climate, and it's only a 2-hour flight, same time zone, even better. So I'm super excited for all that.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
V. Something to try on your sim. Lock the FPS sim graphics menu at 32 FPS, then turn frame gen on. Super smooth at 64 FPS. Card super cool as well. Saw this on the developer forum.
Thank you, JJ, for the $3 bank angle check, my man. I'll have to look into that. Locking FPS and graphics at 32 and frame gen on. All right, man. I'll have to check it out, JJ. Appreciate the $3 bank angle check, man. Very, very kind of you. I'll have to look into that. I'm not going to do it right now, obviously, but I will indeed. Now, I have been having pretty good perf as of lately, so hopefully no issues with that. But let's go ahead and fire this airplane up. Let's see. Sim sounds are on. We're back. Uh-oh. Why is my mouse doing weird mouse things? There we go. We got sounds. Sim sounds are on. Sim sounds are on. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Let's go. It's time to fly the Airbus, chat. Here we go. V1, I can't believe we missed you at the Expo. Tolis is here. I was just talking about you, Tolis, Sim. Would have been nice to meet you. Yes, Tolis, absolutely. You know, I was hanging around the stage when you were up there doing a presentation with, what's it, the Aerosoft? With Aerosoft, when you're talking about the 340. So I was listening intently. I am super excited to see what y'all have been cooking.
Cheers.
Thank you, Jay. Let's see. Who cheers me there? I got to go back and, like, refresh this because I can't see the... cheers, Mike P, the $10 bank angle check as well. Appreciate you. Mike P, when we were out at dinner, we had a round of beverages and a super fruity pink drink delivered to the table, courtesy of Mike P. So, Mike P, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the $10 bank angle check, and thank you for the generous beverage delivery, man. That was quite the surprise. But yeah, Tola Sim, yeah, I listened to the presentation, and I was very, very excited. I was standing there. I was kind of hoping to see if you'd come off the stage there for a bit, but then I got pulled into another direction, and it didn't come to fruition. But I hope you intend to be at the next one, because I would love to actually meet y'all in person, and I'm super excited. I am super, super excited. Zach says, I seriously wish I could have gone to Expo. I know, man. This is, I've been missing out, dude. I've been missing out a lot not going to these expos. So let me go heads down chat for a few minutes here. Let's get this bird fired up and let's get going because I want to talk more about Expo. There's just so much we got to talk about. So crew supply is coming on, CVR test. There it is, boom. Just flew a 321 yesterday. No, I lied. I flew a 320 yesterday. But I did get back in the bus here. We're back. We haven't flown the Fenix on just a normal flight here in a little bit. We did the testing flight. 1-2, we've already done the APU test. That looks good. We'll come back down here. Let's get the aircraft initialized. We're doing a knit request. Eastern T3, what's up, man? Wish I could have made Expo. Sounded like fun. Thank you for the 10-pound dono, Eastern T3. Appreciate the support, man. Very, very kind of you. Yeah, it was, it's just crazy because, like, now, you know, I've always felt like we've had a community here, right? But now that I know a dozen or so of you in the chat already, it's even like a tighter community feeling, if that makes sense. And yeah, it was awesome. So thank you, Eastern T3, for the 10 pounds. Appreciate you, man. All right, let's go ahead and import from Debrief. Let's get this thing. We're already 10 minutes late. We're 10 minutes late from Expo. Let's go to the weight and ballots. Let's go ahead and, no, not load. Let's do load aircraft. Let's do 5-minute load on that. We'll get that loading up. Cruise altitude. I got to pull all this stuff. It's only a 3-hour drive for you, Josh FSD. Good to see you, man, checking in on the vertical stream. Let me pull out my Debrief, y'all. It's been a minute. Let me see my flight plan here. View flight plan. I'm rusty. Let's see. Providence 2-3, a jumper. All right, and then we're on the 26 right Jedi 3. And we filed, what did we file? 36,000 feet, so we'll use our little FCU here. Scroll in 360, 36 thou. Planning Providence 2-3. All right. 360, temperature is 30. Wow, it's a warm day. It's a warm day here. PVD departure 23. No SID, it's a vector SID. There it is. Jumper Q97, Q409, Q172 into Atlanta Jedi 26 right. Really? It's been a while since I've... Yeah, I guess it's 26 right? Yeah, 26 right. That's the slopey one. 26 right on the Jedi. From Skewer. Key 6. My man. Jedi 3 off of Skewer. Insert. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Key 6. Appreciate you. Sorry I didn't make it to Expo this year. I couldn't commit due to the new job. We'll have to catch you next year. You have to come through the bait. Key 6, my man. Absolutely, dude. Appreciate the $5 super chat. I can't wait to finally meet you if you do make it to the next one, man. Appreciate the support, Key 6. Jedi is south side. 27 left or 28. All right, yeah, that I was going to say it doesn't sound right. Let's do, well, we don't have a network to fly on today, so we're going to just go ahead and we'll just stick with 26 right here for now. But secondary flight plan, let's go ahead and initialize this. We are in Providence, KPVD to KPVD. Secondary arrival, we'll come right back to the longest one, 2-3, that's fine. Secondary perf data, that's all we care about. We'll scroll it all the way over, and I'm going to not look it up, so I'm going to put 200 in the radio. We'll zero out the winds. Temperature 30, and if I hit the magic barrel ref key, it's 2983 in the QNH. Secondary is set, radnav, nothing to hard tune. We'll put PVD right here in the progress page, perf init B. We'll go back over here. We'll wait for our zero fuel weight. Refueling is still in progress. So while that's all loading up, let's go ahead and get some charts out. Thank you. There's the specs over there. Yep. I was looking while you were flying the Bluebird, but you were on a mission, so I didn't want to bother with Robert McNamara. Man, awesome. Well, I hope you did you come up and say hi to me? Here's the thing with names, y'all. I probably forgot all of your names, except maybe a handful for some, like Turk. I don't even remember Turk's real name. All I know is I called him Turk Herein. So, and Zippy, I don't even remember. I think your name is still Zippy. I'm terrible with names. So, but I hope I did get to meet you, man. I met so many people on that, in that 24-hour window. It's just absolutely wild. All right, Providence, ground charts. 10-9, we'll taxi out to 2-3. We're sitting over here at the gate, so shorter taxi out. We'll go, what's that, Tango. We'll cross Tango November Mike, full length to 2-3. Blasting off out of here. We've got 360 is set. There's no SID to load up, so I'm really not too concerned about that. I guess we'll just go back to the loading sheet. We'll wait for that to load. Has fueling completed? It has. We've got 23 on board. Let's go ahead and get our fuel tank pumps on. Seatbelt sign is coming on. Prime the APU. We'll put the fuel load in the box. 23.2. Here's the thing. I need a McDo, chat. I need a McDo. We'll go ahead and start the APU. After playing with some McDos there at the Expo, I need one. Velociraptor, yeah, I bound it to B. They moved it, Velociraptor. They moved it, but I rebound it to B because I couldn't live without it not being B. Avio Man, welcome back to Private Pilot, dude. Glad to have you on board. Josh, well, I know your name, Josh. It's Karen. Turk's name is Karen. You need the full 320 cockpit. Gosh, you know, the only full cockpit that I didn't go see just because it was so crowded was the Windwing full cockpit. Now, I touched all of the little components separately. They had it set up on a different table. But I wanted to see their whole cockpit, but it was pretty crowded over there. All right, so we're up and running. Let's go ahead and get the chrono on. Let's go VOR constraint mode. We'll disconnect. We'll go ahead and get the air conditioning on. Oh, chat, did you want to see? So who saw my shorts video about the conditioned air? All right, we'll do this. We'll send that to the McDo. It's 99 degrees in here, chat, so we need to get the APU up and running stat. All right, that's set. Let's go ahead and run some takeoff data. 2-3, sync final. Yes, we're doing a Toga, of course. Packs on for sure. Optimum sync live calculate. We'll send these numbers over here. We are flying CFM mids. 44, 46, 47 flaps, 2 up, 0.8 checks. We'll simulate that it's been 3 minutes. We'll disconnect from external power. We still got 2 minutes. We still got 2 minutes, chat. We still got 2 minutes. Wrong side says I have 2 McDo. Nanny, nanny, boo, boo. Yeah, well. You should send one my way, dude. I'm so excited for the Windwing Airbus stuff. I got to sit in and do the pattern. It was awesome. Nice, Holden. Yeah, the Windwing stuff that I looked at from the side, like from all the individual panels, were great. You know what also kind of impressed me from Windwing was the gear panel. The little gear panel with the auto brake selector. That's pretty sick. Kind of like that. I just connected. No, I just disconnected external power. I did see the Meridian hardware. Ask me again. Ask me after takeoff, my man. After takeoff. Thomas Ray, what's up, man? I did get glad to meet you at Expo. Windwing sending me stuff. Fantastic, dude. Thomas Ray. I did get to meet you as well. I went back over to Granelli Designs. You weren't there, so. But I did get to meet Thomas Ray as well. That was a pleasure, man. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your Expo. All right, we got 2 minutes done loading. I know what we do need to do is we need to turn off the cabin lights. Cabin lights off. Thank you, thank you. All right, we are aligned. Let's go ahead and get out of here, chat. Let's go ahead and get the before start checklist on. Let's go ahead and get the this on there as well. Ground cervices. Disconnect. Disconnect. Oh, maybe I did disconnect it. I don't know. So the beacon on. And we're all set. Why do we have a status message? Cat 2. We're not fully aligned yet. We'll deal with it. All right, the company Misagi, and then we'll push him back. Scott, what's going on, man? You need the cowboy hat? You know, I was trying to fit in wearing the cowboy hat, you know? Apparently, it's not very popular in Boston. All right, we do have 3 jump seaters. We'll throw Turk Karen on the jump seat. So I took a picture of the jump seat to show y'all. It's interesting. This doesn't really have it correct either. Like with the levers and stuff. Unless there's another variant of jump seat. So Turk Karen's on the jump. Oh, I guess standing room only for you, Turk. All right, we're up and running. Let's go ahead and connect the tug. And we are ready to push. So cockpit to ground. Ground to cockpit. Brakes release. You are cleared to push. We're going straight back. Copy that. Straight back.
Cabin crew, arm doors and cross-check.
Tango Kilo, what's up, man? Yeah, my voice is still recovering. I lost my voice completely. So I was sipping on tea and honey from, actually I got some tea at Starbucks in the Boston airport before my flight home. I had some tea, I had that one, and then I just sipped on tea and honey all night because I had to go to work the next day. And then I ended up recovering most of my voice yesterday. All right, I guess we're not going straight back. That's fine. Digital Merc, your voice is toast after this weekend? I know, dude. I believe it. Well, that should be close enough. We'll straighten it out. We'll stop that. Cockpit to ground. Ground to cockpit. Push complete. Set brakes. Brakes are set. You're clear to disconnect. Show me the pin out front. We're going to start them up. All right, cockpit to ground. I'll show you the pin out front. Have a good day, Cap. Engine mode to ignition start. Bleeds are on. Sounds are up. CFM engine start. Probably going to be super mid. Let's go. Starting 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, please observe the cabin crew member closest to you, as we are about to demonstrate the safety features aboard our Airbus A321. Thank you.
What you need is a good hot toddy, Avio man? For sure,
Ladies and
dude.
gentlemen,
I do.
welcome aboard our Airbus A321.
Yellow Bus always to the rescue. Flew Legion this weekend for a wedding. First time on 319. They landed a lot smoother than I do in the sim. Nice, dude. Yeah. Spiritual Wangs has saved me in more scenarios than any other airline. Starting engine 2. Here we go.
Life jackets.
CFM puking over itself, Josh. We do need to see. I think we need a cowboy hat emoji.
Brace. There are 8 emergency exits on this aircraft.
I will say this. The 321 Neo
Pointing out
Pratt
the
&
exit
Whitney's
nearest to you.
is one of the most fantastic
Your nearest usable exit
321 narrow bodies out. Like, I mean, it's a fantastic airplane. It was so comfortable. It was so quiet. I haven't sat in the back on a flight, like, you know, just on as a passenger in quite a while, especially since I bid to avoid all deadheads. But man, I was super impressed. I was super impressed by that 321 Neo. How quiet it was.
If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you.
All right, there's the Avail Light. 2 good starts. That's closed. That's armed. We're doing flaps
Hold
dose.
the mask in place with the strap. Pull on each
Oh man, did I get my?
side
Oh, I did.
to
All right, good.
Put on your own mask before helping others.
Wingtips are a little off color because this livery is not necessarily for 2024. And I tell you what, this is mid. We're gonna fly not middle of the day. I am done with middle of the day flying. It's 1:38. Yeah, let's do 6:38. 6:38. Beautiful. All right, 2 good starts. Flaps are set. APU bleed is coming off. That's coming off. Taxi lights coming on. Brakes are released. Let's go.
Assist you with life jackets for children. Your tray table must now be stowed. Armrests down, window blinds open. and
Golly, those sounds though.
further
Callie Simmer says, I posted the pics of the 75 flight deck in your real life chat Discord. Tag me when you want to check them out. Callie, we'll do it as soon as we get up to cruise. We'll take a look at them, Callie. I appreciate you. Ah, man, the CFM taxi sound is pretty good. That, I don't know, it's more like high-pitched droney, maybe? Is that a good way to describe that CFM taxi? Jet Kid, you know what? I've got ideas. So I was either going to do custom cowboy hats, but it'll be a limited run. That way everyone will wear a cowboy hat that they want to. I'll probably do a limited run of like 10 or so cowboy hats, and then shirts for sure. Shirts for sure. Why do I bid to avoid deadheads? Because I loathe sitting in the back of an airplane. Like, it's crazy. So, you know, I obviously as a kid I love flying on airplanes, but now, after flying them for so long, I actually hate deadheading. I hate being a passenger. I don't care what airline it is. I don't care what seat I'm in. I don't like it. I just don't like it. So, and I know I'm not the only one that feels that way too. I think there's a couple other pilots that share the same sentiment. I don't know what changes. I don't. It's a control thing, or I don't know. It's just I don't like it, man. I don't like it. All right, on auto TARA, that's coming on. Cabin check. We're waiting on them to call forward. We might find our way to 2-3 here somewhere. Get our navigraph out. You know what I also need? What I forgot to start was my auto FPS. Let me boot that up real quick. Although I don't really need it right now. It seems pretty smooth. V1 shirts with fake coffee stain on them. That'd be good. Oh, good. This is realistic. They're calling us right when you cross the runway.
The cabin is now secure for takeoff.
Right here. All right, clear left, clear right, clear to cross. And we're gonna go right here onto November. No Patriot 7.6 parked on the ramp? Gosh, I hope not. I can't stand the Patriots. Oh, look at me. Looking for scenery stuff. Almost taxied off into the dirt, chat. Come on now. All right. November to Mike Alpha. All the way down. We got the FedEx ramp over here. Any Wiggins Airways, former Wiggins aircraft, now at Meriflight. Meriflight bought Wiggins. Got the FedEx over here. Coffee stain emoji. Must be shocking having a pay-wear scenery. Yeah, it's nice, Turk. I forget how nice it is to have a pay-wear scenery, man. I can actually see where I'm going. And the signs are actually in the right spot. I'm so used to flying around in the default scenery land. This is quite the treat, my man. Quite the treat. Pete Ski dropping 20 gifted subs. Pete Ski. Thank you so much, man, for the support. I appreciate you, dude. Very, very kind. If you pick up a membership from Pete Ski, make sure you do shout him out and say thank you. Very, very kind, man. One of us. Team Green, indeed. All right, 2-3. Here's Alpha. We didn't do our taxi check. Flight controls. Full up. Full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral. Man, I will say my profile for the Moza so much better than the default one that they were running there at the Scalarchy booth. I don't know what Airbus pilots they got, but that side stick was whack. And it was a Moza base, so I know it's just profile. But even, I think Turk was there with me. We checked it out. I was like, what is wrong with their side stick? All right. I told him, I was like, hey, check out V1 Sim on YouTube. Get his profile for your Moza. All right, here we go. Lights are set. I'm ready to blast off. This is going to be a fun flight. There's so much we can talk about here. Real pilot quotes. Yeah, it's funny. Nobody seems to question my qualifications in person. It's only in the YouTube comment section. You know, they should have added PMDG's Falcon 50 to the GA ramp. I didn't look for it. I should have looked for it. All right. Here we go. Lights are set. Everything's ready to go. Are y'all ready? Chat. It's been a long time since we've had proper yogas. Unfortunately, it's going to be a CFM, so that's all I can get you is a CFM yoga. But let's get some yogas in chat. Lots of blues, lots of green names. Here we go. Spool them up 50. Yoga. Oh god, that's terrible. Golly. Man, Toga, SRS, runway, auto thrust, blue. Dude, the CFM is so weak sounding compared to the IE. 80 knots thrust set. 100 knots. Check. Look at the VOR in the middle of the field. That's awesome. V1. Rotate. Positive brake. Gear up. Nav and fly with. Beautiful. Goodbye, Providence. Adios, Providenciales. Man, CFMs are gross. Never climbed. Do they have a good reduction? Let's see. Kind of. Kind of. I know now that I'm not missing anything by not flying CFMs. There's F-speed, flaps 1, speed checks, flaps 1. Blackbird Controls in the house. Blackbird dropping 10 gifted subs. Blackbird, how you doing, my man? Dropping the 10 subs. I appreciate the love, man. Hope you're doing well, Blackbird. We're going to talk about Blackbird here in a minute. Don't you forget it. Blackbird Controls also dropping something before the Expo released. You're still taking orders, Blackbird? Here comes S-speed. Flaps 0. After takeoff checklist. Gosh, I love it, man. All right, well, in that case, let's go direct rifle. Delta 357, proceed direct rifle, climb and maintain, fly level 360. Direct rifle, climb 360. 360 is blue, where thrust climb, open climb, nav, after takeoff checklist. Beautiful. Johan dropping 10 subs as well. My goodness me. Johan Jacobs, thank you, my friend, for 10 gifted subs. Dropping here on the channel, man. Super kind of you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened whilst the
Blackbird says pre-orders will open up until release later this month, then it'll be regular. Okay, gotcha, man. So I chose the ocean route this time here, so we're going to go out over the ocean side. Pre-orders are live now for Blackbird Controls' special new standalone product, the Bravo of Tillers. The Bravo of Tillers. If you're interested, you might want to check it out now before I pull up the link. Yeah, I was going to hand fly it, but let's tell you what, let's go direct heady. Get a little bit of a turn here. We're kind of shorten up the line here. I flew yesterday, so I just want to, I'm always double checking my Moza profile. Yeah, this thing feels so good compared to what was set up there at some of those booths. I'm actually using the Neo profile. Talk about that here in a minute. Not that the Neo feels different, it's just the newer Airbuses, you know, when you fly them, the side stick does feel a touch different than some of the really older ones. All right, I said we're going to turn autopilot on. Autopilot's coming on. Sim sounds are coming down. Full screen cam is coming up. Let's enjoy the climb out here. Matter of fact, we're close enough to 10,000. Let's go ahead and kill the lights. Boom, smooth ride. Do a nose climb out here. All right, let me get caught back up here. Again, Johan Jacobs, thank you for the 10 subs. Blackbird, thank you for the subs. And Pete Ski as well. Joe Sardo dropping $10 super chat. Joe, my man, appreciate you, sir. Says, assuming there's not a special engine out SID, what typically do you load in the fixed info for departure? It's a default runway heading 25-mile radius. No, Joe, so if there's no engine out SID, what do we load in fixed info? Nothing. So our operator, we don't have any SOP that would dictate otherwise. So if there's no engine out SID or anything that would require use of the fixed info page, we just leave it blank. But thank you, Joe, for the $10 super chat, man. Appreciate you. Solarkey Isaac was as bad as the TCA Airbus. I think they just had it. Maybe they just didn't have it set up right. You know, maybe it's a floor model. I can't imagine that that's how they had it fit. Not even a radial? No, nothing to put in a radial. A radial of what in the fixed info? You're talking about fixed info page, right? Not secondary flight plan? The secondary flight plan we always put in the return runway. But as far as fixed info, if there's nothing to put in fixed info, there's nothing to put in fixed info. Shaq Oatmeal in the house. Shaq, dude, pleasure to meet you as well. Mr. Shaquille Oatmeal has been crushing it, guys, since the get-go. Streamer, content creator, gone real-world pilot, working on CFI now, right, I believe? Or CFI? Yeah, CFI. Dude, so huge shout-out to Shaq Oatmeal. Pleasure to meet you, man. Absolute pleasure. Josh says only real pilot for the first 400 feet and the last 1,000 feet. Exactly, Josh. Ali Sammy, thank you for the 27-month support. Best community, V1 Nation. Couldn't agree more, man. Fort Myers specifically, how do I make such a perfect circle when turning base on 2-4? Fly it perfectly. I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, but yeah, man, if there's nothing that requires the use of the fixed info page, specifically for engine out stuff, or a climbing restriction, like maybe there's a climbing restriction on the SID. Chicago has one, past 3 or 4 miles at 3,000, whatever it is, then you can put a fixed info ring on there. But if there's none of that, there's really no use of the fixed info page. You don't want to clutter up your ND. You don't want to have a bunch of useless stuff in the ND. XP is in the house as well. XP72, good to see you, man. I mean, I already met XP, but it was always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to run into XP72, whether I'm on the road or he's out in the great state of Texas, or, of course, at the Expo. So, XP, hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're recovering well. He says, I've read the Riot Act to Randazzo. No, listen, so let's start with this. Since we're going to talk about the Expo, let me start with this. So I did get to meet PMDG, and just briefly, I mean, they were super swamped, as I would expect, especially Robert Randazzo. Definitely everyone wants to talk to him, right? And as I'm standing there, I went over there to look at the 747 screenshots. They had 19 screenshots of the 747 100 and 400. And I was looking at it on the big screen, just, like it looks as good as you could imagine it looks. I mean, I don't even know how else to explain it to you, how excited I am for that. But what I will say, I'm standing there waiting for a moment, to talk to PMDG, and I didn't get to say it because I was just it was towards the end of the day, actually. It was right at the end of the Expo. Everything was starting to clear out. I just, I went up to him. I said, hey, thanks for all you do, and I look forward to your products, whatever. But if I could have done it over again, I would have said something more along the lines that, PMDG to me, regardless of your opinion on PMDG and whether you like their products or not, which I don't know how you can't like PMDG. My buddy texted me. He said, it's crazy that the PMDG 737 from FS9, has been fueling our passion for aviation, because he's the same way. It's been fueling our passion for aviation, even as kids, like when that thing first dropped, not the NGX, I'm talking about FS9 737 straight wing, the first PMDG 73. I used to fly that in middle school, and the fact that PMDG has been around that long and that it's been able to fuel my passion for aviation, and it's definitely shaped my career where it is in the real world now. So to meet that guy and that company, it's just a cool full circle moment, you know? It was just a real cool full circle moment. So I definitely look forward to their future products. But yeah, that was I was on the plane home and I was texting Fly Navy and he's like, yeah, man, it's like, remember the original 7.3? Like, yeah, it's just what that airplane did to me in my career, real world wise, just fueling my thirst of aviation. It's fantastic. So, but anyway, yeah, the screenshots looked amazing. It was a pleasure to meet them. AJ Funari, thank you for the $3 super chat as well. BS, you were trying to hitch a ride in the Falcon. No, but their Falcon does look sick. I saw the pictures of it. Skyfall, thank you for the 10 gifted subs, man. Really, really appreciate you. Very, very kind. Migs also dropping 20 gifted subs. Jeez, all the gifted subs keep dropping off. Migs, thank you. And yeah, Skyfall and Migs, thank you for the gifted subs. Migs, thank you for a massive 20 gifted sub membership. Man, very, very kind of you to support the channel like that. So fantastic. Fubar says PMDG MD11 was my first payware. That was a learning curve, but awesome. Oh yeah, dude, I had so much PMDGs. You know, the 737, like the OG one, FS9, I felt like it was less frustrating for me than the Jetstream. Because especially when the Jetstream came out, I was older. I'm like, okay, I know how to do flying stuff. Dude, I couldn't fly the freaking Jetstream. I was torching engines left and right, and I was so it's like, oh my gosh. But I loved it, man. But it's the sim, right? You know, you have passion for whatever it is that you do in life, and for me, it's aviation. And to be able to have that passion fed by computer software, and then meet said developers of software, just epic, full circle moment. You know, complete full circle moment. Mustafa, dude, pleasure to meet you as well. Man, it's so cool seeing all the names of the people that I met. Mustafa's here. Great to meet you at the Expo. Dude, absolute pleasure to meet you, Moose. Can't wait to see some 727 content as well. I know you're a big fan of that 727. Which I got to ask you, Moose, about the new 200 727. You know, they have the, what is it, the digital HSI and PFD in the 200 Advance. Yay or nay on that? I mean, I'm obviously going to buy it. I'm all for it. I love the 727. I love anything. I love anything more than 2 engines, right? I kind of wish it was just round gauge still, if I'm being completely honest with you. But I look forward to it a ton. All right, let's hear about Aerostar disappointment. Firefly, I don't want to get into that yet. I will throw in a side note since you asked, though. I think we're just spoiled. You know, I'm so spoiled by the Black Square Dukes. And I know A2A is a fantastic company, and it's early access, right? So we'll see what happens. But right now, I just kind of wasn't. I was going to stream it later today, but not right now. I'm excited that they're doing it. I know it's going to be good, and I'm not saying it's not good. It's just compared to what we're used to flying with Black Square, it's not quite there. But it's alpha. Look, it's early access, dude. Early access. So I'm not saying, you know, it's going to be bad. I'm just saying it's definitely early access, in my opinion, right now. Aviation Dude, thanks for the $5 super chat. Hello, just landed saying hi. Hey, Aviation Dude 95. I got to meet you as well. Pleasure meeting you, Aviation Dude 95. Thanks for coming to dinner with us. I had a great time with you, and it was a pleasure. Glad you made it back safe, and hope to see you at the next Expo as well. That was a lot of fun. Did I stop by Any Builds? I did stop by the Any Builds booth. I didn't talk to anybody. They were, as you can imagine, Any Builds PMDG Windwing, pretty much a 24/7 swampage of people. Like everyone just in line to go, which is completely, you know, you would expect that from just the amount of product or just what they've got going on. So very busy to get in, like to meet if you don't want to stand in line. And I was having so much fun meeting and talking to all y'all that I just kind of went wherever the flow went, you know. But I did check out the Any Builds booth. I did see the 220. Now it looks just as good as it did on the early access stream. And actually, what I was pleasantly surprised with, what I saw there, I had kind of slight concerns from their first preview. Remember, they had all the performance problems. It wasn't really prevalent there at the booth. So it's obviously that was 100%, as they said, just a little, you know, a glitch with the uploading the software and whatnot. But yeah, in the sim it looked good, it looked smooth, and I look forward to that. Thoughts on the Bluebird? Let's get into the Bluebird. Gus, my man, I love anything more than oh, get out of here. Gus, I'm surprised you didn't go, Gus. That was right up there in your alley, right? I thought it wasn't too far from you. I'm surprised you didn't show up to the Expo, man. But thanks for the 34 months of support, Gus. Let's see. I want to see if Mustafa said, I spoke to Martin. I think those are going to be toggleable in the 727 Super, I think. But I'm with you on the Steam gauges. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was curious. I was curious what your opinion was, because I know you're a 727 junkie, man. So, I know it's good to meet you, man. All right, let's see. 757, though. Yes. 100%. So I did a full lap in the pattern, 757, takeoff, touchdown. Got to meet Boris in person. Fantastic. The sounds were fantastic. As you can imagine, we've already heard kind of some sound previews, right, of the Bluebird 7.5. It sounds even better. They had the subwoofer. They had like the big bass there, and Boris would cranked up the bass, doing the takeoff. Very immersive. And this is in Yellow Sim. This is in 2020, the sim that I don't like. What I was very impressed with is the animations of the dials. So round gauge aircraft, Leonardo does a great job of this as well. So like, when you're looking at the round, maybe you don't know, but the round gauge airspeed indicator in the Leonardo, and it's got like that drum and it kind of flickers and stuff. So some aircraft with round gauges, it's very hard to get, in my opinion, a really good animation of what's happening with the round gauge, and Bluebird nailed it, man. I love the animations. Everything looks so smooth. The performance was fantastic. I mean, I think I had 100 FPS as I flew around the pattern. Now, I don't know what the sim settings were at, but I do know that the airplane looked great. I could read the airspeed indicator. I could read all the indications, whether it be the altimeter, from a normal seated cockpit position, which sometimes in round gauge aircraft can be hard to do. Oops, what's going on there? So like, when you're seated in the cockpit, if you don't have a digital display, sometimes those round gauges, it's kind of hard to see it. They kind of all blend together. But the Bluebird nailed that. It looked great.
50K sub special feed cam win.
Jeez. Who was that? Turk in the U.S. $2 bank angle check. My man, thank you for the $3 bank angle checks. Feet cam win. Oh, geez. Get out of here. I know you like the picture of the Windwing floor yoke with all the feet in it there. But, I don't know. 50K is coming up quick, so we'll see, man. No feed cam, though. That's for sure, Turk. Thanks for $3 bank angle check. But, yeah, the Bluebird, I have nothing nothing to say other than it was excellent and everything that I expected, and then some. Hand flying it in the pattern, I could really feel the thrust of the engines and the underslung engines, right? So if you thrust up real quick, you get kind of that pitching moment. So you really want to be. It just felt very believable. I don't know. I've never flown the 7.5, but the way the thrust would come on and off of the aircraft, and you kind of adjust for the pitch change, it felt very believable. It was extremely smooth. I also had and this is a compliment. It's nothing other than a compliment. But I had Quality Wing 757 vibes. Do you remember flying the Quality Wing 757? When the Quality Wing 7.5 dropped in FSX, I mean, that was, at the time, that was one of the best cockpits we ever saw. And I kind of felt like I was kind of reliving that moment, getting back in a full 7.5 cockpit that looked fantastic and sounded fantastic. So I just hope that 2024 release will follow soon after the 2020 release, because I do know that they are committed to 2021, and we'll just have to see. We'll have to see what the release plan is for that, right? But anyway, that's kind of it on Bluebird. I mean, it was great. Leonardo, someone mentioned that. What? Negative. Get out of here. I'm going to talk to you. All right, we're 39, climbing 360. Andrew Sawyer, welcome to Private Pilot, man. Thank you. Wait. What did I... Andrew Sawyer, thank you for the super chat as well. Am I missing... Was that Joshy? Thank you, man. My OBS is delayed, dude. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not missing your super chats. But Andrew Sawyer, thank you for Private Pilot. Thoughts on Meridian GMT? Josh, I'll come right back to. Let me finish my Leonardo thought. We'll come right back to Meridian, man. Thank you, Joshy, for the $2 super chat. So, now I forget where I was going. Oh, Leonardo. I obviously was very excited to see what Leonardo was cooking, because I said that they said they were doing a sound and texture workup of the MD-80. You know, I've been very critical of the current texture set in the MD-80. It probably hasn't been modified since release many years ago. Now, I didn't get to hear any of the sounds of the MD-80 because when I was there, I don't think there was someone flying it around, and I didn't know if they had the volume on or not. But what I saw, cockpit-wise first, looked great. It definitely looked like a 2024 modernized version of what we have. The reflections off the glass looked fantastic. The gauges looked fantastic, much sharper, much cleaner. Definitely a 2025 standard upgrade to the MD-80. And I am super excited because I have kind of fallen in love with flying the MD-80. I know we've crashed it on stream, but there's something about that airplane that it's just, I like it. And I don't know if it's the uniqueness of the MD-80, how it's just kind of really its own airplane. The overhead doesn't really resemble anything else. The sounds are all super unique. And, you know, iconic, too. The JT-AD is very iconic sounding engines. So having the FT Sim sound pack. But I am looking forward to that. Now, Meridian GMT, Joshy. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I looked at the Meridian stuff. Now, the gentleman at Meridian, I can't remember. What's his name? I can't remember his name now. I did speak with him, too, for a little bit. Fantastic. Got to see the prototypes. Now, Nikki, thank you. Nikki at Meridian is definitely, I would put him in the classification as a dreamer. I mean, he's got fantastic ideas. His creativity and ingenuity with hardware is fantastic. So having the little panels on the on the Meridian base, you know, I say Bravo, but you know what I'm talking about, how you can configure it. They looked great. Now, they only had prototype models there that were not movable. So I don't know what's going to happen with it. If it does come to fruition, I think the Honeycomb Bravo and Honeycomb would be in trouble, because from what I saw at the Honeycomb booth, it all kind of looked like, you know, modified of what we got now, nothing crazy, and kind of the same old thing going on. Which, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I've been using the Honeycomb Bravo since release, and it's one of my favorite pieces of hardware because it is so modular in what we can do with Blackbird throttles and modifying it to do a bunch of different things, right? So the Meridian stuff, I love where it's at in terms of ingenuity. I think that's needed, but I'm also fearful, like I'm sure maybe many of you kind of think something like, is it actually going to come to fruition? So we'll see. We'll see at the next Expo if it's the same, if it's been improved upon or not. But if it does come to fruition, I think that's going to be a really good option. I just don't know. I don't know. Mr. Martini says he has the vision of Steve Jobs, but follow through of Cosmo Kramer. Mr. Martini, well said, man. Well said. But a nice gentleman, man. I mean, I talked to him briefly, and a nice guy. And you can just tell he's passionate about creating things, you know. I've been saying this for a while on this channel. Within 5 minutes of talking to someone, you can typically tell if they're all in or not on what they're talking about, whether it's they're talking about something airplane related or talking about something hardware related or just their passion level, right? Within 5 minutes, you can tell if someone is 100% in. Now, not everybody is always 100% in, and that's fine. And I would say the majority of people aren't. But, man, you talk to Nikki for a few minutes about Meridian stuff, and you know he's all in. So I hope it works out, but I'm not going to hold my breath. So, Elias Bricka, welcome to Private Pilot. Glad to have you on board. Thank you for supporting the channel, becoming a member. Very, very kind. Let's see. I need some coffee first. TK, I don't know what you're doing, man, but we're just going to go ahead and ban you here. Blackbird Controls says, professional opinion, the idea is functionally impossible unless the base acts as a huge USB hub. You can't do what he wants within one peripheral and have a plug and play. Not possible. So that's what Blackbird's saying. Speaking of Blackbird Controls, now I haven't seen this in person. It was you launched this the day of Expo, right? Let me see. So I'm going to show it up here for the chat. So Blackbird Controls, this is, I wouldn't say it's necessarily Expo related, but the first standalone product from Blackbird. And then this will lead us into our other discussions. So Blackbird Controls has launched a tiller. And I'm going to bring this up here. The Airliner Tiller System. Pre-orders are now open, so we'll go over this briefly. So what I love about this is the modularity aspect. Now, obviously, I have been using a different tiller for many years now. I've been using a Cat 3 design tiller who makes very specific built-to-order tillers on specific airframes, right? You buy an Airbus tiller or a 737 tiller or a traditional Boeing tiller, like this, the 777 tiller, etc. This Blackbird Controls has unlocked something that is more modular. So if you look, you buy the base, and then you have these base plates. All right, the base plates, which then you can change it to be an Airbus or a Boeing, right? And you jump in here, Blackbird. Let me know if I'm leaving something out. Now, full disclosure, I have not seen one of these. I've not been sent a tiller. I want to share what Blackbird is bringing to the table. The tiller space has been blowing up. The tiller space has definitely been blowing up. There's been multiple tillers now that have been announced for the market. So this would be your Boeing gray. I love that, or the Boeing brown, I should say, looking very good. Now you said there's a video. Where is the? Here we go. Airliner a video. So Blackbird Controls. Let's take a look at this. I'll turn my sim down a minute. Is there any audio? You're not going to get me banned with your audio, am I? I'm going to turn it off just in case. So there he is. He's removing. Great filming job. Remove the base. Putting on the brown base to switch it. And that now, does that change? Is that going to modify, let's see, how the tiller handle range there? It looks like it does, right? So if you go to the 737, or actually swappable faceplates, very nice touch. So you buy the base and then you have handles. What size scale are we talking about here, Blackbird Controls? In terms of the control levers here, are these full size? They're reduced. So Blackbird says that the controls also change the motion, the range of motion. Fantastic, man. Even better. So key features. I'm not going to go through and read all of this because I think y'all can do your own reading, but I will put the link right here in the chat. You can go check it out. And right now, pre-orders are open. So you have a base and handle, base and 777 handle, 73 only, 777 only, and accepting pre-orders. First orders will ship 4 weeks to allow adjustment in production and make further product prior to shipment. So I highly recommend you go check this out. I will have to check one out myself, but Blackbird Controls, made in the USA. Definitely, if you're interested in a modular style tiller system, this is going to be probably going to be the place you want to be at. So very, very cool. Thank you, Blackbird. Awesome stuff, man. Speaking of tillers, he says they are life-size tillers. 1-to-1 full-size tiller system. 1-to-1 full-size. Al Loper asks, is there an Airbus version? Actually, I didn't see one. Is there an Airbus version? I did not see one. All right. So speaking of tillers, in the realm of tillers, Windwing also announced a tiller. I did not see a tiller at the Windwing booth. I don't know if they brought it out maybe on Sunday, or maybe I just completely missed it. But I looked for it. I looked for the Windwing tiller at Expo. We'll talk about Windwing here next. Kind of a good segue. I didn't see the Windwing tiller there, so I don't really know. I can't speak to the quality of it. But this was my first time being hands-on with a lot of the Windwing products. So what did I think about them? It's kind of a it kind of depends really. Now with the paint with a broad brush with Windwing, I love what they're doing. I think the fact that they're bringing these products in at such at such levels of quality, and then the price associated with it, I think it's very much needed in the flight sim community. For many years, we've had just kind of one or two entities that have been, just that's it. You pay the piper, or there was really no other competition. So now that Windwing is at the table, you're starting to see all kinds of competition come out of the woodwork. A couple of things to note about the Windwing McDo first. I'll start with the Windwing McDo's. For the price, you can't beat it. The buttons are definitely not what I anticipated, but that's just because I'm coming from the real thing. Now, so what I mean about that is the buttons on the McDo in the Windwing are rubberized. They're pretty soft, and they just feel like soft rubber buttons. Go figure. But for the price, there's nothing wrong with it. And I actually think I would like to get a McDo myself because of playing with it there and at the Expo. I'm like, yeah, I do need one of these. I don't want to click anymore. So impressive. The throttles. So I was looking forward to this. The Airbus throttle from Windwing. Let me see. I'm going to bring some of these up here. Where are you at? Don't give me a second, Jim. I'm going to pull this up. See if they have pictures of it. Aha. No, I guess I can't. Why is it in German? All right. Nah, I can't bring. There's freaking ads all over the place. Go figure. I don't know why I can't bring up like just a normal picture of the Windwing stuff. So Windwing pedestal items. I'm going to kind of look at that. So starting with the throttles. The throttles are okay. They're actually, for the price, for $127 for just the throttle set for the Windwing throttle. This blows the Thrustmaster out of the water. So I've been saying this from a while. I thought the Thrustmaster Airbus stuff, the TCA Airbus stuff, I thought was very entry level. It was basically a T1600M stick that they just resurfaced to look like a pseudo Airbus stick, and the thrust levers I thought were pretty. I'll just be honest. They felt pretty cheaply made, to be honest with you. The Airbus thrust lever specifically. Now, I'm not talking about the TCA yoke. I still believe the TCA yoke is a great thing from Thrustmaster. But when I got to be hands-on with the Windwing thrust levers, I was impressed in the feel. Moving him through the range of motion, it felt very good. I do wish the travel was longer than it is. The travel on the Windwing thrust levers, obviously it's not one-to-one because they're trying to make it a cockpit desktop version, which I totally understand. But I just wish it was like, give me a half-inch more travel just so you could hand fly. So I was messing with them. Actually, I was messing with them at the fly-by-wire booth when I first got there. So it's so close to being a home run, and in some aspects they are a home run just because of the other options out there in terms of price point. But man, if they could have added just a little bit more range between the thrust climb and the idle detent, it would have been 100% home run. It would have been a Barry Bonds, or the steroid hitter out of the park. But now it's more like a triple, which is still good. So, or a grand slam versus a home run. How about that? Still very, very good. Also, a nitpicky thing about the Windwing that they got right is, so the thrust levers, you can't, I believe, was it Captain Tango or Delta Tango asked me this question. He said, when you bring the thrust levers into reverse, can you lower the thrust lever or the reverse latches while they are in the reverse detent? And the answer is no. So like if you have a honeycomb mod, or I'm trying to think if there's any other type of, I don't know if the Airbus ones do this for Thrustmaster, but if you bring the thrust lever into the reverse detent, you cannot lower these latches. You have to bring the thrust levers out of the idle reverse detent for the latches to close. And that's kind of, it's basically like a lockout system. So you come to idle, you can slam them to idle. You're not going to go into reverse unless you lift the lockout latches. Now, Windwing has that correct as well. You can't lower them unless you are out of the detent. So someone asked if that was accurate. I said, yes, it is. So they got that little detail correct. And the feeling of them was great. They felt much more sturdy. I don't want to say they were metal, but they felt great. For the price point, pretty much unbeatable. If you are looking to spend less than $200 and you need an Airbus thrust lever set, I mean, it's a no-brainer at this point. Moving down from there, I looked at their other options. So they also have the, this stuff was pretty cool. You actually had the lift to starts. They turned these into buttons, which is okay. I'm all for adding more buttons. I'm all for adding more button functionality, right? So that you can use those as push buttons. And then it got to the flap and spoiler. The flap actually felt pretty good. The spoiler felt pretty good. And someone asked, and I'm completely drawing a blank now. Was it pull to arm? I believe this was pull to arm on the Windwing, which is the real deal. So it's pull to arm, and then in the real Airbus, actually, you have to push this down to kind of go into the. Oh, I forgot we're flying. Shoot, why did I do that? You have to push that down to go into the deploy area, but. Yeah, it is pretty cool. They have that little detail modeled correctly as well. It is pull to arm. So I was, totally just almost freaking threw us into Alpha Floor here at 36,000 feet. But yes, it was very impressive. I liked the way it felt. It was very tactile. And all around, I was impressed. Now, the gear lever, my most impressive piece of Windwing kit was their gear, clock, and auto brake panel. I never in a million years thought I would want a third-party panel from the Airbus that was gear, clock, and brake selection. But as in the words of Sam, let's just be honest, it was sweet. So, you pull the lever out to deploy it, you pull it up. I don't know why you would need a chrono or a clock. I don't know why you would need it. But if you're building a Windwing cockpit, it was awesome. And it's a reduced size, but it all felt very good. It did not feel cheap. It felt well made in all aspects of the panels. Now, two other panels that I really wanted to see. I did see the DCDU panel there. I believe they had that, which I could take it or leave it. I really wanted to see the RMP. I didn't get to see it. I think the RMP panel was at the full cockpit display. And again, I didn't get to go over there because that one was very, very busy. I had an idea. I had a thought. I wonder if I can get a hold of Windwing. And for the next Expo, if they do a full cockpit display, we could set up and do like actual check rides. People sign up for it. Like 15-minute check ride flight with myself. I did this in the Scalarchy with wrong side sim. And that was a lot of fun. We kind of just destabilized everything. I don't know, we got Dutch roll going on now or what. Let me see if we can. We're all out of whack. Optimum 38, optimum 37, cruise 36. I tell you what, let's go 370 wrong way just for a minute here. Let's see if we can get this airplane restabilized. But Sam, Windwing, I totally agree with you, Sam. Blowing Thrustmaster. Thrustmaster didn't have anything new. They had a small booth there. I I don't know what happened. I don't know if they just fell off the block and either they got complacent or I don't know. I don't know what happened because they used to make really good hardware. I mean, I did mess a little bit with their F16 thrust lever or their throttle quadrant. I messed with the F18 stuff. Just kind of looked at it as I was walking by because there wasn't a whole lot of people at the Thrustmaster booth. But I mean, all that stuff has been out for a while. No ingenuity, no innovation. So maybe they're just kind of over it. Maybe they're happy where they're at and content. But after seeing this hardware in person at the Expo, I would not spend any money on Thrustmaster stuff for civilian sim right now. Now they do have some really good high quality stuff for DCS. Like I said, they got some of the fighter pilot panel, or not panels, but they do have that. But like the power, the F16 one, the grips and stuff. So if you're into DCS, I still think it's very viable. But being able to be hands on with the hardware there at the Expo and seeing what Windwing is bringing in, beyond there's no other place you should really be putting your money. Now, kind of going on a side tangent. Someone in chat tell me what it is. At the Expo floor next to the Bluebird booth, there was another company with interchangeable faceplate McDoos. I know someone in the chat knows who I'm talking about. Wingflex? Was it Wingflex? I think it was. So there's two of them, Turk. I think Wingflex was up here, right? So Wingflex had the FCU. PU Korea had the interchangeable faceplates. Let's talk about both of those. So PU Air Korea, and this is an apology to them if they ever see this video, I believe they sent me an email a while ago. And I didn't know if it was legit. I thought it might be spam. I get so much spam. I get so much like people posing to either be or I say people. I get so many AI emails about, oh, I work for NVIDIA. Oh, I work for this company. Oh, I work for this. Can you sign up? You want to sign up? You want to try this? You want to try that? I X a lot of them out. I believe they did actually send me an email a while ago, and I ignored it. I apologize, PU Korea, because I wasn't sure of the legitimacy. I'd never even heard of it before. But seeing the interchangeable faceplate setup and the quality of their McDoos and other FMS stuff, I was very impressed. I would almost say it's a tiny bit higher quality than the Windwing McDoo. And the interchangeable, the modularity of it, well, I guess it's not really modular, right? You have to buy separate faceplates. But I'll say this, I was impressed at the quality of that piece of hardware for PU Korea. So if you're looking for that stuff, have you been on the fence about PU Korea? Maybe it's something that you want to get into. I can tell you from seeing it hands-on, I was impressed with it. So, Bo says the bad part about it runs on the HDMI versus USB. Correct, right? So it runs on HDMI versus USB, which could definitely be a problem for some people. I definitely understand that. But yeah, the other one, since we were talking about it, was the Wingflex. The cubes. So the Wingflex FCU was very good. And if I were to put we have so many EFIS and FCU panels up here. So we've got Windwing, we've got Wingflex, and we've got Mini Cockpit and Scalarchy. All right, so there's 4. Am I missing any EFIS FCU panels for the Airbus specifically? I messed with all of them there at the Expo. If I were to rank them, and I'm just going to talk about the FCU function first, which you can see if you're in the vertical stream. You see I have my mini FCU. So in terms of quality, the mini FCU, albeit it's a reduced size, actually has the closest to real world feeling of the knobs rotating them. It's hard to explain, but just the way the knobs rotate in the real airplane and how they rotate on the hardware, I think the mini FCU is actually one of the highest quality in terms of feel, albeit a smaller, reduced size. The wing flex is, I would put it slightly below the mini FCU, but the tactile feedback was also very good from the wing flex. And I even messed with their or their EFIS as well, which I kind of wish I had an EFIS now, because I really like that. I mean, the VOR knobs are pull, so in the real airplane, you know, these switches here, they're a lock toggle, so you have to pull it out towards you to get it into that detent and out towards you to move it. They don't just slide left and right. So the wing flex, the quality is very good. I would put it below the mini FCU, but I would actually put it above the Windwing. So I only messed with the Windwing EFIS and FCU for the Airbus. I actually didn't see any 737 stuff. And it's full size, you know, it's great, full size stuff. But I will say that, you know, for the price, you can't beat it. But in terms of quality and replicating the real thing, I would actually put that in the third spot for how the Windwing felt versus the real thing. So in my opinion, if I were to rank them 1 through 3, it's actually mini FCU, wing flex, and then Windwing in terms of tactile feel. Now, when you start talking about price per pound, it's like we're talking about steaks, you know, it's hard to beat the Windwing. If you're trying to build that full-size cockpit or that full-size glare shield, there's really no other place to look than the Windwing when it comes to that. Now, you can look at Scalarchy. I did see the Scalarchy stuff. Scalarchy was very good. It felt very much like the real trainers. You know, we have some not full sim, not leveled, but like the static trainers that we use. And I would say the Scalarchy was very comparable to that. It's not quite like the real thing, but it's pretty daggone close. Like, but you're also going to pay for that too, right? Why bother with Boeing stuff? Microsoft 24 is an Airbus simulator. True. Let's see. Somebody asked a question about something. Callie Simmer says, I've had issues with the Mini FCU software, which is why it now collects dust. My Windwing plug and play, no issues. Really, Callie Simmer? Interesting. Yeah, I've had no issues. I just turn it on and it works with everything other than the FS Labs Neo. But it works great with the Fenix and it works with the fly-by-wire and the default stuff. So, but yeah, so in terms of Airbus hardware and Windwing, impressed. And for the price point, can't beat it. I really want to get the Windwing radio panel right here. I really want to get this. I'm so tired of scrolling in frequencies, albeit we're not scrolling any frequencies today, right? Because we're offline. Speaking of, someone asked about the VATSIM. Any dirt on VATSIM at Expo? No, man. I was planning on going over there. I never ended up. I'm actually kind of bummed because they were doing live controlling. And I never even got over to the VATSIM booth. The VATSIM booth was over towards Bluebird, and I went over to Bluebird first thing in the morning. I checked them out, and then I checked out the Wing Flex and the PU Korea because they were all kind of right there next to each other. I went and grabbed coffee, had the shirt incident, and then after that, I went back to the room, came back, and then it was all from there. So I never actually went to the VATSIM booth. However, I had 2 VATSIM guys come up to me. Terrible with names. Michael, I believe one of them was Michael. Can't remember the other one. Very nice people, very nice gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming up and saying hi. We chatted for a little bit. Fans of the channel. So that was fantastic to actually talk to some of the VATSIM controllers there. But no, I actually never made it over to the booth, which I guess they won something too, like best presentation. So I'm bummed that I didn't get to go check it out. But yeah, I spoke to 2 VATSIM folks, and they were great. Still banned. We're still banned from VATSIM. Although Zippy said, yeah, I'm gonna shoot an email to somebody. But as of right now, we are still on the naughty list. Alvio Man says, "Is something here in Atlanta might be a bumpy arrival." Ooh, even better. Let me get a sip of coffee, chap. I thought I was supposed to be getting my voice back. Doesn't appear that's going to be happening today. Kip on the ground, my man. Good to see you, dude. You weren't at Expo, right? The only reason I say this is because I think I saw you go live. I think I had a notification that you went live while I was at the expo. How you doing, Kip, on the ground? Dude, I've been told that you're the man to go to watch for the Easter eggs in the Starship. I'm gonna have to check that out. I'm gonna have to check out all of your Easter egg stream. But good to see you, Kip. He says, loving the VATSIM trolling weirdos with their ID requirements. Won't use it myself because of it. Sabotaging their own network. 0 for 10. Man, I mean, I think it's for as professional, air quotes, as they want to be, and they do a good job at moving traffic and creating a realistic environment. I just find it so strange, you know? It's like, I just find it strange. That's resulted to what it's become. You need to do something about that light chop. You're flying a Delta jet. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do something, T-Whale, about this light chop. So, let's do a real-world secondary flight plan test. Remember, this is something I brought up in our comparison stream that was not simulated correctly, at least on the for right now on the Neo from FS Labs. Right now, I'm burning 10.5. I'm landing with 10.5 going into Atlanta. I'm going to go to my secondary. I'm going to copy the active, so I have all the same data. So, theoretically, there it is. We have the same data as our active, right? 10.5. So I want to ask, hey, ask if we can get lower. And the controller comes back and they say, hey, yeah, to get a better ride, you got to get below 30,000 and below. All right, let me take a look at it. So what we're going to do now, I want to see my fuel burn. I'm going to go secondary, initialize, and I'm going to change the cruise altitude to flight level 300. Now when I go to the... Oh, come on. You used to work. Don't tell me this got jacked up now, too. Maybe it wants the whole thing? Well, that's bizarre. It used to work. Okay, disregard. It used to work. Why is it not working? Maybe there's more than one way to 300. Maybe it wants it there. Secondary init. Can I change anything? I can change that. That's bizarre. Man, it used to work. All right, well, forget it. It's not working correctly either. So what I'm trying to do is if you put 300 there, then it would actually come back and it would give you your fuel burn. So, Amir, where you at, man? Y'all broke this because I know it used to work. Let's go ahead and step down. Step down to 34. Let's see if we can get a smoother ride here. 340. Down we go. We'll see if we get a smoother ride. What do I think about the Meridian Tango Plus? I talked about it a little bit. Hey, it's Kenny. You know what? It's a great idea. I want to see if it comes to fruition, man. I want to see if it comes to fruition. You were in Providence? I was there. V-Pilot. I was there, man. Yeah, I was there. I was there. So let me tell you all about how I got there. Let's go outside. Let's take a look at the 100 Years livery situation. Very cool. It's actually kind of a good angle right here. So my flight to Expo. What do I want to do differently for the next Expo? So first and foremost, I want to come out the day before. So I want to be there for those presentations on Friday. The Friday presentations. Because some people don't like that part, but I actually like that. I think it's kind of cool to see all the stuff come out live for the first time, right? So either A, leave early in the mornings, like Sam says, or B, come in Thursday evening. Definitely. Yeah, and always leave early in the morning in the summer. You're absolutely right, Sam. Absolutely. Logo Lights, thank you for the 30 months support. Moza Yoke, oh yeah, it didn't give me the fuzzies. Okay, yes, I'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about my trip. Miggs, thank you for the 6 Canadian. Let's be honest, how many autographs did you sign? To be honest, Miggs, I only signed one. I signed, there were a couple kids running around, and they had a picture of stuff they wanted signed, and they were getting it signed from a bunch of different people. So yeah, of course, I obliged and signed it for them. And I drew a little arrow, and I put myself in the cockpit. It was I think it was a JetBlue Duncan 320 or something, and I signed it, and I drew an arrow to the cockpit. That's where I was sitting. But thanks, Miggs. Appreciate you. Let me talk real quick about the Moza yoke, because that's also a popular one for a lot of y'all. You know, I use force feedback here. Dougal McTavish. dropping a 20-pounder. 20-pound super chat. Dougal, man, appreciate you. The vid with you and Wingnut in the cockpit was great until Miss McTavish said, never mind him. Who's the hunk of the Stetson? Oh. Dougal, thank you so much, man, for the 20-pound super chat, dude. I appreciate you. I had a blast. That was actually a wrong side sim. So appreciate you, Dougal. Thanks for the $20 super chat. And it was a fun. We took off. We did a lap in the pattern. I vectored him in. My vectoring was spot on. I even said, maybe I should sign up for VETSIM because I basically, left 45 degree, less than intercept to the low, perfect speed altitude windows, We had a lot of fun. Thank you, Dougal, for the support, man. I do appreciate you. Moza yoke. Let me talk about that real quick. So this, to me, is also very, I guess subjective is the right word or not, but how do I explain this? So let me say this. The Moza AB9 side stick that I use, the AB9 base I think it's the best, as of right now, option for a desktop simmer, not a cockpit builder, but just a desktop simmer, to get the real-world feeling of the aircraft, the Airbus specifically. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn the seatbelt sign on because we're doing all kinds of stuff. What's going on here? I'm going to turn this off for a second. Autopilot's off. Re-engage. I don't know. I guess we're just kind of rocking around a little bit. So with that said, I know the AB9 base is great. However, when I've used the AB9 base and properly set up on the Scalarchy booth, I was like, ew, that's gross. That's not at all what it feels like. So a lot of this has to do with software and the profile that you use. Now, my first time hands-on with the Moza yoke, I was flying the 172. They had a 172 there on the display that you could fly around with the Moza. And it didn't give me warm and fuzzies because, to me, at least the profile that they had, it just felt like it was an effect generator. So like I had vibration of the yoke because the engine was running, and it got a little bit stiffer in control when we had when we were going fast, and I get slow. It got a little bit mushy. So I don't think it was the best profile. It did not have trim following. I don't believe it has trim following yet on the yoke, which is a big bummer. I don't have the Moza yoke. They never sent me the Moza yoke. They did send me the AB9 base. So, I don't know why they didn't. But I wasn't, I don't know. I wasn't as impressed as I thought I would be with the Moza yoke. Now, the profile aside, the actual grip of the yoke, there is trim following now. Okay, well, yeah, so what I meant was, sorry, let me clarify. There was no trim following at the Expo, like the profile that they had at the Expo. So no matter if I trimmed or not, it just kind of stayed in the same point. So that's why I'm kind of saying this, take it with a grain of salt, because I didn't get to test it with a really good profile that I know Moza is capable of. I don't know why we're Dutch rolling so much. What is going on here? It's making me sick. Let's turn the autopilot off. I guess it's just bumpy. I guess it's just bumpy, because even with the autopilot off, it's still doing the same thing. Well, you know what we're going to do with that. So let's do this then. I'm going to put you down, put you down. We're going to put you away. I'll put you up, put you up. I'm going to sit back here with Turk. Oh, too far. There we go. I'm going to sit here on this view for now. But anyway, yeah. Diabetic Lad, if you can tell me where the yaw damper switch is in the 320 cockpit, I'll give you $100. So, yeah. Profiles were a miss. Oh, I know what I was going to finish off with. The actual yoke itself, the face thing of the yoke. So, if I turn this over here a little bit, now obviously you're going to see me because I don't have this set up for yoke cam. But this part of the yoke, this front piece here, on the Moza, I was a little bit disappointed in the feel of it. It felt it felt like there was, let's just say this. It felt like a miss in terms of the actual tactile feeling. It felt plasticky. It felt light. I do like the button options on it, but I was not impressed with the actual feel of this faceplate of the yoke here. The Brunner, albeit it's super expensive, I mean, it has a very premium feel to it. It almost feels like it almost feels like it's taken straight out of a TBM. You know, I don't know if it's leather, or rubberized. There's some type of finish on this that feels fantastic. If you have the Brunner, you know what I'm talking about. And I think that could have gone a long way with Moza, because I think the general design being so, you can switch yokes out and everything. I think that's a great idea, and I think that's better than what Brunner offers in terms of, modularity. There is zero modularity with the Brunner. What you see is what you get. But if Moza could improve upon that a little bit, maybe even offer a yoke that has a premium finish, I think that could go a long way. So overall, the Moza booth, I wasn't super impressed with what I felt. But again, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they don't really know how to set their profiles up, which is kind of a shame. I mean, holla at me next Expo if you want me to come work on some of your profiles and get them set up, especially for the Airbus stuff. Man, Scalarchy, I would have rather flown. Let me just put it this way. Turk was there. I went and felt the Scalarchy side stick, and it was a Moza base, so I know the capabilities of it. And I felt it. I'm like, I'd rather fly with a T1600M. Heck, I might even rather fly with a Xbox controller, the way the profile was set up at the Scalarchy booth. So for any of the exhibitors that are bringing force feedback hardware to the floor next year at Expo, my advice would be to focus on getting some of those profiles in, especially if you're a side stick or yoke creator, exhibitor. Because I know they can be good. I know it's not a physical problem within the hardware. It's just not set up right. So Thomas Ray says, and thoughts on the ASC having full enclosed C-130J cockpit with wraparound projectors completely connected with DCS? Completely sweet, dude. It was sick. And actually, Thomas Ray, that Cornelli Designs booth was, like you said, it was pretty good. I don't know where you went, man. Like, I went over there, and you were just nowhere to be found. But seeing on some of the DCS stuff was very cool. Very, very cool as well. I'm looking forward to that C-130, man. Hire Vodka's consultant. Exactly. Team Vodka, for anybody that's a exhibitor next Expo, Team Vodka lives in Minneapolis, and he will come set up your profiles for you. Blackbird says, I wonder if Blackbird will be big enough to get a spot next year. Blackbird, Blackbird. I don't know if you are by yourself, and I don't know if I am by myself, but I think if we teamed up, Blackbird, could probably help you out, man. I wouldn't mind that. But you should definitely try, dude. You'd definitely be big enough, man. What are you talking about? Like, come on, dude. I think they're always looking for exhibitors there. You've got a great product, especially what you do with the Bravo, man, for sure. I think you should definitely look into it, Blackbird. If you need any support or you need someone to help you out, too, man, hit me up. I'll do what I can. So. Ryan says the mounting to a panel versus vertical mount for the yoke doesn't make much difference to you. It would seem like it might, but I have no experience. Mounting the panel, vertical mount for the yoke. Oh, yes, Ryan. So you're talking about the yokes not being a pendular setup. I've talked about this before a little bit, but basically when you have force feedback, you don't need a pendular system, because the benefit of the pendular system is to have zero idle detent or neutral detent, right? Any push-pull yoke that you buy that's not force feedback has what? Has a hard center detent. The benefit of that pendular design, like the Thrustmaster TCA, there is no hard detent, and you can really fine-tune that flare around the 0 point because you're not going through a push-pull center detent. When you add force feedback into the mix, you create whatever detent or no detent you want. So you can go from full forward yoke to full aft yoke without hitting any stops or bumps or detents with force feedback. So that is why, in my opinion, you don't need that pendular system. Now, you think it may feel different in terms of the actual motion of the yoke. It's really not. So when you fly yoke-driven aircraft, at least in my experience, I haven't flown a yoke-driven aircraft in a better part of 10 years, but you don't feel like you're moving a pendular system. You feel like you're pull the yoke closer, houses get smaller. Push the yoke forward, houses get bigger. It just happens to be on a pendular floor-mounted system because of the design. And it's the size, and you're sitting so close. It's not like it's rotating on this like you feel that rotation. I don't know. Let me know in the comments there. If anybody who flies with a yoke IRL right now, I mean, can you tell when you're flying your 737? I asked Fly Navy about this, and he said no. I feel like I'm just pushing and pulling, just like you would anything else. Although it is a pendular system. So, but anyway, speaking of pendular yokes, I did see the Windwing floor-mounted yoke. I was very impressed with it. It looks like it's super early on in development, though. I would guess that Windwing yoke is probably still going to be at the 2026 Expo. I would guess it's probably going to be at the 2026 Expo with maybe a price at that point. So that would be my assumption. But it was pretty cool to feel the yoke and see it. The only thing with that Windwing floor-mounted yoke, they were smart in terms of you can't just put any rudder pedals with it. So you have to you have to buy their rudder pedals to buy the yoke, because the pedals aren't going to fit in the special hole that they made, a proprietary hole. They made $1 million hole there for their rudder pedals. So they're going to get you more ways than one, which is a very smart business decision, albeit frustrating from a consumer standpoint. But yeah, I look forward to it. I whatever it costs, I'm probably going to end up buying it, because I'm going to have to fly the PMDG with that yoke. My life will not be complete until I get to fly a PMDG 747 in Microsoft 2024 or 2028, hopefully not, with the Windwing floor-mounted yoke. Until that day comes, my life will not be complete. Hold on, I got a schedule alert, chat. What do we got here? 6th of July. Oh, chat. What's the 6th of July? I'd be interested in the 6th of July. Let me see. What day is that? Monday? Tuesday? Stand by. Oh, I already have a turn on the 6th. Oh, yeah, it's a 2-day. Ew, Detroit? Gross. Nah. I would take my Phoenix turn. All right. Cool. All right. Saved. Did you meet the Phoenix team? No, they were not there. Phoenix was not there, unfortunately. I hope they make the next one. Man, it is a rough ride. Let's go down to 30. Let's just go. Thrust idle open descent down to 300. We're searching for smooth air. Detroit rocks. Is the Windwing yoke huge? It's full size, Ryan. It is. You're gonna need. I'll say this: the Windwing floor-mounted yoke. You're gonna need a dedicated chair and a dedicated setup for your desk. Because the desk is going to have to be so far away from you so you have full range of motion. It's going to be interesting. You're going to need basically almost a full pit to run that yoke. Verpal will be there next year. I'm looking forward to that. The Windwing floor yoke feels amazing. You'll need a dedicated rig. Won't work with the desk. Yeah, exactly, Moose. That's kind of what I was saying. When I saw that thing, I'm like, yeah, this is a cockpit builder setup here. Wow, it's even getting worse. Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck here, I do apologize for the rough ride this afternoon. Unfortunately, I guess the Airbus gods don't like us flying CFM engines, so we've been searching for smooth air since we left Providence. We're headed down to a lower altitude now. We'll see if it smooths out. But if it doesn't, the air sickness bags are located in the seat backs in front of you. And please avoid congregating in the forward galley and throwing up in the sink, because it only smells, and then we have to in off the lab. So appreciate your patience. We'll talk to you here on top of descent. Thank you. Oh, chat, we got another schedule alert. Ooh, somebody swapped it out. Someone swapped out a LAX overnight. Oh, gross. Red eye. Nope, don't want that one. I don't need anything on the 6. I like my, I have a Phoenix PM turn. Pretty gentlemanly PM turn on Sunday. Phoenix and back. All right, down to 30 thou. We'll see if it smooths out here. Does not appear that it is. Ah, Chad, another trip. Man, people are picking up and dropping trips on this weekend. What is going on here? Miami now. Nope. Don't want that. Let me know when there's a turn. Plane is shaking because it wants the BFU. I know, dude. Where's the BFU? Oh, Captain Canada. Yes, I did meet Captain Canada, Tender Aviation. So, I didn't even recognize him at first, man. He came up to me briefly. I was talking to some folks, and he came up and was like, I can't remember what he said. He's like, I asked me enjoying the show, something like, and I was like, I know the voice, but not seeing him in his pilot shirt and in his sunglasses, everything. I was like, it took me a second. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Captain Canada. So yeah, I got to meet him. But yeah, Turk, exactly, dude. I heard his voice, but my brain was like not processing what was happening, because I hear that voice, I think of the hat, the shirt, the sunglasses, and it's just like, whoa. But yeah, got to meet him. That was cool. Got to hang out with him for a couple minutes there, just chat for real brief. But yeah, definitely met Captain Canada. That was awesome. Captain Simp, thank you for the $5 super chat, man. There's a picture of a certain white hat with a blurry, handsome man below it floating around the internet these past days. I don't know, Captain Simp. Thanks for the $5 super chat. But yeah, contrary to popular belief, I am an actual human, so I do exist IRL. What's funny, though, is I guess people were saying that I was the one wearing the cowboy hat, and I think there was like two other, I saw one or two other cowboy hats there. So I wondered if somebody went up to one of the other gentlemen with the hat. But yeah, I was trying to fit in. Do you have to set trim in a rudder? Maybe that could cause? Nah, the rudder trim is actually inhibited with the autopilot on. What do I think about the Synaptics 220? Brian, I didn't fly it there, but I watched people flying it. It looked good. The performance in what I saw at the I&I booth definitely was encouraging. The only stuff I've seen on the 220 was that, developer live stream, and that one was kind of, we weren't sure like what we were seeing because it looked like the airplane was really struggling with performance. But that was 100% because of just that presentation got kind of bugged out. So it was good to see that that's not the case, at least what I observed at the Expo. Did I say hi to 330 driver? He wasn't there. I didn't see 330 driver. But I became the 330 driver. I actually flew the 330 full cockpit sim. So I flew the 330 cockpit sim. Well, I didn't really fly it. I had wrong side flew it, and I gave him a little 15-minute check ride. So, did you know why Microsoft did not show up? I don't know, Benny. I was never told why Microsoft never showed up, why Adobe never showed up. I think it's a little bit disappointing. I mean, you've got probably the largest sim presence that you've had in decades, and they're not there. So, anyway. Not sure. Cowboy hats were decoys paid by V1. But yeah. So it was an awesome time, man. It was an awesome experience. So back to what I was saying. So originally I was going to fly out earlier. That flight canceled. I tried to get on another flight through Atlanta. That canceled. I ended up being at the airport. I got to the airport at just prior to noon, about 11 something in the morning, and I did not leave DFW until 8 p.m. So just flight cancel, flight delay. So American had a glitch in their system, which basically brought their operation to a halt. Delta, you can't go anywhere on Delta without seeing Atlanta. Atlanta had some thunderstorms that literally parked over the top of the field in Atlanta, so that basically shut down Delta's operation. And then Spirit, who ended up saving the day for me, they were late because they were waiting on their crew coming in on an American flight, which was already held back. So they were waiting on an American Airlines flight to bring in the flight crew to bring them, to get the plane out. So that was a whole ordeal. But I did get on. And, of course, when American cancels, everybody, good luck trying to non-rev on the next 2 or 3 flights, right? It's just going to be an absolute disaster. So, yeah, I didn't end up getting into Boston. I flew into Boston Logan. I got in at midnight, a little after midnight. Now, like a dummy, I prepaid for a rental car, which I should not have done. I go to the Hertz rental booth. By the time I get off the airplane, it's close to 1 o'clock, because you're friggin' deplane, trying to figure out where we're going. Oh, so I go down on Boston Logan. I go to get on the rental car bus. I've never been on a bus so packed in my life. When I say shoulder to shoulder, I literally mean you were standing shoulder to shoulder, like chest to back, with people, with everybody. It was packed. I'm actually surprised they were driving it like that. So I got wedged into a corner. I was locked into the back of the bus, and they drop us off the rental car facility. So get this, the most frustrating thing. This always happens to me, and I always say it's just, it's the family curse. Like, if you just get hosed sometimes, right? So here I go. So I'm standing in line at Hertz rental car, and there's 5 people in front of me. Not a big deal, 1 o'clock in the morning, but guess what? There's only one guy working the desk. So I'm standing in line, and it's one guy working. And everybody that's going is just, they're like, they don't know if they're doing this or that. They're taking a lot. It's averaging probably 15 minutes per person. Okay. So while I'm standing in line, I'm like, hey, I'm going to not be a boomer. I'm going to get the app. I'm going to download the app. I'm going to do all the check-in stuff because it says, look, check in online. Boom. So I do all this stuff. I check in online. I submit all my stuff for my rental car that I prepaid. They're like, good, you're all set. And you just wait in line and see the person at the counter. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I literally did all of this, and I still have to wait in line. Okay. Fast forward 40 minutes. 45 minutes, maybe close to an hour, I get to the desk. I walk up to the gentleman, and I said, hey, I already checked in on the app. So I just said I need to be here. He's like, oh, you're a gold member. You just go downstairs. You didn't have to wait in line. And, oh, I forgot. So right before he said that, he pulls me up to the desk, and he goes, hey, the next 3 people in line, go downstairs. There's someone downstairs working a desk. They're going to process you. So 3 people that were in line behind me, they go downstairs to get in line downstairs. This gentleman says, hey, you're a gold member. You don't have to sit in line. I'm like, well, no, I'm not. I just checked in online. He's like, yeah, go downstairs. Your name will be on the board. You're good to go. So I go downstairs, and my name is not on the board for the rental car. And I'm like, this guy's not, he didn't understand what I'm saying. I'm not a gold member. All I did was just check in on the app. So now I got to get in line. Guess what? Behind 3 people that were behind me that are now in front of me because there's one lady working the desk downstairs. Now, the person that was at the desk as the customer was having a freaking problem. Like, I guess they couldn't accommodate his car, so they downsized him. They didn't upgrade him, and he was pissed off. He wanted like a bigger vehicle, and this went on for another like 30 minutes. And I am a very patient person. I was getting close to losing it. I'm like, this is really, really testing me here. Pack your patience. So I'm standing there. It's 2-something in the morning now, right? So it's over 2 o'clock in the morning. I get to the desk, and the lady's finally like, I told her what happened, and she's like, oh yeah, here, you want this? I'm like, no, I don't need a car seat. I don't need a GPS, and I'll pay for my own tolls. Boom. I was done in 2 minutes, right? It took me 2 minutes. She gave me the keys. I go to the car. Car's only got like a half tank of gas in it, right? So I'm like, oh great, so now I got it. But at that point, I was so frustrated and so tired of waiting, I said, screw it. I'm just going to bite the bullet, because I said I was going to fill it up when I returned it anyway. You have a couple different options for paying for fuel for the rental car. I was so at my wit's end, I just said, screw it. I left the lot, half tank, drove to Providence. Massive wreck on the opposite lane. I'm glad, I don't think it was anybody from the Expo, but right there in Providence, there was like 2 vehicles overturned. They had the road shut down. Looked like somebody was in a drunk driving wreck on the opposite lane. But I get to the hotel 3:45 in the morning on Friday. So by the time I put my head on the pillow, it was past 4 a.m. Now, I also didn't know how the Expo worked. I thought, well, I kind of want to be there when it opens, right? So if I say I fell asleep at maybe 4:15, 4:30, I woke up at 7:30. I was like, okay, I got to get up. I got to get coffee in. I was like, I I need to wait. I can't be dragging because I wanted to go get my badge and meet people. So I had maybe 3.5, 4 hours of sleep, and and then it started. Then it was nonstop talking, greeting people, just a great time. The entire day through the expo. Went to dinner with a great group of folks there, and Mr. and Mrs. Tango actually bought me dinner, which was very kind of them. If you watch this on replay, thank you again for that. Really appreciated the dinner, and yeah, we chatted, and then we walked back to the hotel, and we said our goodbyes. And I was getting ready to go up to the room because I'm dead at this point, right? Like, I'm ready to go to sleep. Now, of course, who grabs me? Who texts me right there as I'm getting ready to go up the freaking wrong side? Simmy's like, "Hey man, I'm right outside. I'm there at the lobby bar." I'm like, "Oh gosh!" So I went over there, freaking wrong side. I can't say no to wrong side, right? So I go in there. I see him, and I see some of the Cali crew members. I'm like, screw it. I'll sit down for a little while. So hang out, chatted with them till close to midnight. They went up. They ripped it late into the night. I went to bed and got up at 6 or 7 in the morning and started driving home and back to Boston, and back home I went. So that was it. And tried to sleep on the airplane. Got on the 220. Let's talk about the A220 IRL first. The 220 is and will always be a regional jet, in my opinion. The 220 is a regional jet. I walked on. I'm like, man, this thing is small. It's I could barely walk down the aisle without hitting my cowboy hat on the roof. It's a 2x3. Any airplane that is less than 3x3 seating configuration is a regional jet. So it's definitely a regional jet in that aspect. It's smaller. It's shorter. It was actually kind of hot on there. I wasn't impressed with the PAX cooling on the APU. Sit down in my seat. I was left side right there next to the engine to get maximum whale sound. The sounds are fantastic. Obviously, it's a whale. But here's the thing. The Neo, the Airbus does the same thing. It's the same engines, Pratt & Whitney 1100. So, like, they're the exact same sounds. I think it's just louder on the 220 because, at least from the inside. I mean, I don't even know if it's louder on the inside. It feels like it is, right? But it's the same engine. I think it's because the airplane isn't as well insulated. I personally thought that the 220 was actually a pretty loud airplane. The wind noise specifically, like it didn't, just the ambient sound in the cabin, not necessarily the engine, but the ambient sound in the cabin was very loud. I was actually kind of like, man, I need to put my headphones in or put some earplugs in. And I was sitting in about this seat right here. Actually, I was sitting in this seat right here. I was sitting in this seat on the 220. The wind noise was very loud. Way louder than the Airbus series, for sure. So the 321neo I flew with the Pratts, a dream. And here's what's going to strike a lot of people. So I was in a brand new 321 on Spirit. I was in 9F, which is their new. They've redone all their cabins and they've redone all their seats. So they have these newer seats now. Most of them do. And they have new seat pitches. I had the same amount of room in 9F on Spirit that I did on Delta Comfort Plus in whatever seat number this is. I want to say it's like 15A on the 220. I was sitting in 15A. So I wasn't necessarily, I mean, it was, as far as room was concerned, there was plenty of room, but the 321 was quieter, same amount of space. And even though the 220 seat reclined, what I don't like, and this is just a personal thing, so on a lot of carriers now, they have the headrest, and then they have an additional like headrest thing here that folds out, so you have those flaps on either side so you can lean your head left and right. I don't like it. It hurts my neck because I feel like my neck is not at the right angle. I always struggle to get comfortable. So on Delta Comfort Plus 220 15A, I was not impressed. Wind noise was loud. Airplane was hot. It was a small airplane. The ride of the airplane, super stiff. I thought I was freaking on a 319 with wingtip fences, man. I mean, I think the 319 actually is less stiff riding than the 220. The 220 was very stiff when it came to the ride. Every time they pop the speed brake, you get this nice, crazy little pitch change to them. Like, what is happening? It's like noses down, nose up, nose down, nose up. They would crack the speed brake. You get this real sudden jolt and pitch. So this was a 220-300, and just not. I was like, this is Canadian Regional Jet 2.0 right here. This is all this is. It's lipstick on a pig, T-Whale. Not impressed whatsoever by the real world 220. And then to boot, guess what? We're on final, and we go around. I don't know if it was a wind shear. It was a little bit gusty down there, but the captain said there was traffic on the runway. But let's be honest, I've used that same exact excuse a dozen times. So they were either unstable, too fast, wind shear is my opinion. I don't think anybody was on the runway. But they went around, and so they extended our almost 4-hour flight even longer. And then, if you're going to go around, at least grease it. Dude, these guys smashed it. I was holding the camera. I think it's in the shorts video. I was holding the camera pretty steadily. And even the camera, when I was braced up against the window, it was a firm landing. It's like, I think I audibly said, like, oh, jeez. Like, it was, like, just came out. I wasn't trying to say it. It was just my reaction to how firm we smashed. So, yeah. Unimpressed by the A220 all around. And the most impressive thing, to be honest with you, was sitting in 9F and being as comfortable as I was. And I actually got, I actually liked the snacks better. The flight attendant offered me these barbecue chips on the Spirit flight. They're like puffed barbecue things. Amazing. Delicious. I want some. They're probably not good for you, but those were amazing. Anyway, let me get back to these some super chats. Miggs, thank you for the $13.99 super chat, man. I do appreciate you, sir. How about a V1 booth at next year's Expo? Barry Seal sick bags, real-life calendars, greatest hits on an MD-80 compilation, huge banner, talk about sealing the limelight. Miggs, thanks for the $14 super chat, man. I appreciate you, dude. Thank you for all the support. Nah, no booth for me, man. The booths are for exhibitors, but I get what you're saying, man. I appreciate you. If anything, if Blackbird has a booth, I wouldn't mind swinging by the Blackbird booth, man. I wouldn't mind swinging by the Blackbird booth, help them out. But thank you, Miggs. I appreciate that $14 super chat. Maybe we'll have some Barry Seal paraphernalia for the Expo. Titus, drop it in 1,000 Huff, man. I appreciate you, sir. Says, I recently watched your last CRJ stream, and I was wondering if there any chance to do CRJ V2 for Microsoft 2024. Probably not anytime soon, Titus, just because a lot of stuff happening right now. But I haven't forgot about it, and if the time comes, I will try to get the CRJ up and running. Now, the only reason I haven't, I say the only reason. Another reason why I haven't done any CRJ stuff, Titus, is because control binding in Sim Update 2 right now takes forever. So, I wouldn't be able to sit there and bind my CRJ. All right, so that's another reason. But thanks for the super chat, man. I appreciate you. Did you talk to the pilots after landing? No. He was standing there. One of them was standing there, and I just, give him the old nod of the hat and just got off the airplane. I was completely incognito. I just used my credentials to get. That's why I didn't have to wait in line at TSA. I went through the crew member stuff. But then after that, I was like, I just want to be incognito. But I was... it was funny, man. That landing was 400 foot per minute. I mean, it was firm, Miggs. Like, trust me, I've felt some firm landings. Heck, I had a semi-firm one yesterday in Raleigh. I was a little bit disappointed in myself. But, man, this one was firm. On all phases. Nose slam down, freaking main slam down, brake slam on, and then you can hear them slam. You can hear them. So pay attention on this. Your next time you're flying, really skilled pilots can disengage the auto brakes without you realizing they're disengaging the auto brakes. This 220, so I can feel the auto brakes grab early on, right? You just feel them grab. And then as we're slowing down, the only way to, at least the aircraft that I've flown with auto brakes, whether it's the Airbus or the Embraer was actually worse. The ERJ, when you had auto brakes on to disengage them with your pedals, you had to apply equal or greater force to the brake pedals to get the auto brake to disconnect. So if you do it at a high speed, you really get this jerking sensation because you're essentially slamming on the brakes to disengage the auto brakes and then letting go of the brakes and letting it kind of accelerate. So, but if you've got some real nice feathering of the brake pressure, you can disengage those auto brakes real smoothly. Not the case on this 220, man. It was impact, auto brake, massive step on brake, heads go forward, then heads go back, and then we basically slide off and make the high speed. So it was unimpressive all the way around. But hey, I'm thankful to be on the ground safe, and I'm sure those guys were just happy to be done flying through. I think they had a long day. They did like a Chicago turn and then did the Dallas flight, so they were busy. Bill's Mafia, thanks for a $2 super chat, man. Did you have to sell a kidney to buy the barbecue? What barbecue? Nah, man, we didn't have to sell any kidneys to buy the barbecue. You talk about the Camp Chef? No. But what is this? Migs dropping Alexandra Bellini dropping 50 gifted subs. Thank you, Alexandra. I really appreciate that massive 50 bomb to the channel. Very, very kind. I hope you continue to enjoy the content. Maybe we'll see you at one of these future expos, right, Alexander Bellini? Thank you so much. Pick up a membership. Make sure you shout them out and say thank you. Man. Appreciate you. Captain Tango, 37 month support. See you at next expo or sooner in the 320 sim. Captain Tango, indeed. Pleasure meeting you as well, Captain Tango. Captain Tango does have the full 320 cockpit sim, so I would love to actually get down there and check it out, Captain Tango. So I will keep you in mind, my friend. Pleasure meeting you as well. Who's the guy in 9F yapping about us? We'll show him exactly. Well, no, I was 15A. I was 15A. I was Delta Comfort Plus. I felt fancy. I think Comfort Plus is right behind First Class, right? I don't know. Harry, what's up, man? I just got a notification about winning a gifted membership. Thank you so much, Harry. Thank you. Well, thanks for coming to say thank you. It's probably Alexander Bellini dropping a massive 50 bomb. Thank you. Imagine V1 brings a laptop, flies the same flight he's on. That would have been something, right? I'd be like Boris. Boris flies with his laptop. I do feel fancy flying Comfort Plus. I mean, I did too. I felt very fancy flight sim guy. You know, they come by. I mean, you can definitely tell these are like $500-$600 tickets, right? Because, you know, the flight attendants come by with a little tray of coffee. Would you like a coffee? Would you like a water? Oh, how fancy. Yeah, some recycled laboratory water, please. Thank you. You got any ice filled with gnats and flies that's been stored in the ice tray that hasn't been washed in 24 years? Yeah, please. Thank you. So fancy. Surprised they didn't offer an eye mask. T-Mac, what's up, man? Thank you for the 4-month support. Was flying home at 2300 on Monday from ORD and only got cleared because of the 11 misconnects. The weather messed everything up over the weekend. T-Mac, it was, dude, what a weekend to have Expo, though, for traveling, right? Lot of disruptions. Comfort Plus is low, is like low class firsts. Dude, what's that movie with the Iron Man guy and the comedian where they get on the airplane and he's like, well, I'm in last class. He's like, it's economy. No, last class. Oh, jeez. Your Sim CFI, what's going on, my man? Missed you at the expo. Hope to see you next. Yeah, man, that's unfortunate. Sorry I didn't get to meet you, but definitely next year's expo. Hopefully we get to link up, Sim CFI. JJ says the 50 ball trumped my super chat, but oh, shoot, AJ, I'm sorry, or JJ, I'm sorry, dude. Let me, I feel like I've missed some here, man. I apologize. It's been kind of a wild, my eyes are still recovering. I missed it, JJ. I actually don't see it on here. Maybe it'll pop up after those things. Let me come over here and check something out. Let me refresh this. But I've been on a bunch of 220s. The A220 struts are tight. V1, they all feel like firm landings. Nah, that's fake news. Oh, there it is, JJ. Thanks for the $3 bank ankle check, dude. Sorry about that. I missed it, man. Yeah. He says that the 220 struts are tight. Oh, come on, JJ. Come on, dude. Come on, man. The Airbus A320 struts are tight. Nothing is firmer than a freaking 320 landing gear struts. And I've been on some real greasers. That's just an excuse for the regional pilots out there that think they're flying a mainline aircraft on a 220. Callie Simmer, what's up? I was in Delta Comfort Plus yesterday, and I thought about your caution about the water. I broke down and got a hot tea twice. Oh my goodness, Captain had that freezing. Callie Simmer. Well, you know, if you haven't had any negative side effects yet, I think you're going to be in the clear. You know, man, Callie Simmer, that's brave. 757 water. Whew. I mean, how long has that potable tank been flying around? You know, my goodness. Well, hopefully it got hot enough. And it killed all that, because I think you would know by now. I flew on a 220 with my buddy, and he greased it. Yeah, see, I'm sure you can grease. You can grease any airplane, man. 30. I know, that was generous. 35. That's probably, what, 55, 65? You were terrified, but you were freezing. You got to do what you got to do. Callie, I almost broke down and asked for a tea as well, because my voice was completely gone. So I was tempted, Callie, and I was like, well, I'm on a new 220. I bet the potable water's clean. And then I was like, nah, it's not worth it. I got to fly tomorrow, aka on Monday. So, well-seasoned potable water. Seasoned potable water. Oh, my goodness. That's funny, man. Seasoned potable water. That's what we're going to have to call it from now on. It's just seasoned potable. That's funny. Oh, yeah, Zippy. I did get to see Zippy Zapple crash an F-18, attempted carrier landing, stall spin into the drink. No, he didn't hit the fantail. He bounced. He bounced off the deck, missed the wires, and then ripped it into like a 70-degree bank and stalled it into the water. Potent potables. Yeah. Isn't coffee okay to drink on a plane, though? I mean, D-Doom, look, everything's okay to drink on an airplane until it's not. It's the same water. So those tanks, they go under salmonella testing, but they only go under it whenever they're required to. And when they go through the salmonella test, I'd wager to say it's probably a 70% fail rate. But until the test happens, you actually don't know if it's going to fail the test, right? Now, the theory behind it is that the water will be hot enough. The water will be hot enough to kill any bacteria. But, hey, you do you. Another side fact, in the Airbus 320 series specifically, the potable water tank and the septic tank are the same part numbers, as in they're the same holding tanks. Now, obviously, you're not going to interchange them, but it's just something to think about. Or maybe it's gray water. Maybe it's a gray water tank. Maybe it's a gray water tank, which would be the same thing, right? I don't know. All I know is there's 2 tanks on the Airbus that hold water, and one of them is water that you would not want to drink. Callie, when you got your hot water, though, did they already have the tea bag in it, or did you just get a cup of hot water and then put the tea bag in? Did you see any floaties in there? You see any seasonings floating around your cup? The potable water tanks are not study level. Drink at your own risk. We do disinfect them. Yeah, they do disinfect them. Yeah, and they're I'm sure that this is kind of a hot. This is like a Delta commercial right now. Look at that. In other words, you need one of those life straws to drink flight sim guy, dude. Yeah, that's what you need. You need to get a life straw and then drink through that. That would be hilarious. They gave me the hot water and separate tea bag. I studied and smelled the water carefully first. All right, good. As long as there were no floaties floating around your cup of water there, Callie Sim, you're probably all right. That's good. That's good. I'm glad you didn't have any little seasonings floating around. That's brave. I mean, that's a 6-hour flight. That's brave, Callie Simmer. Man, oh, man. Migs, thank you for the 6 Canadian, dude. Appreciate you. So what you're saying is that potable water has a single slice of Swiss cheese with a giant vanilla hole-sized hole in it. Oh, Migs, thanks for the super chat, my man. I appreciate you. Yeah. Once I learned about that, it's so unfortunate because, man, when I got to the regional level, I was like, oh, I want coffee. I'm going to get coffee when I'm flying, blah, blah, blah. No, and I learned right there on my initial type. They showed us images of an E-170 potable water tank that was having issues. They cut it open. there's 6 inches of pink sludge all the way around the tank, which reduced the surface or reduced the capacity of the water. So the tank would show full, but then it would run out way faster than it was supposed to, and it was like it was giving these false readings. So they pulled the tank, they cut it open, they took pictures, and so we got to once I saw what that looked like, ruined it for me. Never again. And then later in life, right, I learned about the Airbus, but it was from that day. I think I've had coffee on an airplane one time. It was an E190. I was on a contract trip or a charter trip, and we were in BFE somewhere, man. I can't remember what airport it was. In the middle of nowhere, Carolina, something. And you know what?
Bank angle. Bank angle.
Who's this from?
I've been on a bunch of A220s. The struts are tight V1.
There it
They all
goes.
feel
Now it
like
came
firm
through,
landings
JJ.
to me, although I have had a butter on breeze into Huntsville.
There you go. Thank you. Now it came through, JJ. I appreciate you again, my man. You know what, chat? I'm having a breakthrough here. I've had an epiphany. So this trip that I'm referring to on a charter trip 190, I showed up to the airplane with food poisoning that I assumed that I got from the barbecue place we went to. But if my memory serves me right, that was the first or the only time I had airplane coffee was on that trip. I'm trying to think. Do you think that I don't think that was it. It might have been. I can't believe now that I'm literally thinking about the last time I had coffee on an airplane was that E190. It was 3 o'clock in the morning arrival. We were dead tired, and I was like, yeah, I just need a coffee. So I had coffee, and then the next day I was sick. I was so sick, man. I texted the captain. I was like, dude, I've been on the toilet all night long. I don't know how I'm gonna make this. And when you're doing that contract or charter stuff, like there's no reserve to come get you. We were in Kinston, not Kingston. We were in Kinston, wherever that is on the East Coast, ISO. And I was so sick that next day, man. I flew that flight with trash bags all around me. Maybe, I don't know. I can't remember if I had coffee. If I had that coffee before that happened, though. I thought maybe it was later on. I don't remember. Anyway, I digress. Don't have coffee on the airplane. I do know I had food poisoning, for sure. Or I had some type of issue. All right, we're getting ready to start down on the Jedi. We're going to just set the lower altitude here. Let's set 10,000 for now as I look it up. Let's go to work. It's time to dial this thing in here. Jeremy says, I thought they fill cups of bottled water when you ask for water. Jeremy, so actually, yeah, on Delta, they did. They did, absolutely. But the tea, Jeremy, the tea and the coffee comes from the potable water tank because that comes through the coffee pot, right? The hot water. But yeah, if you ask for a water on an airplane, yes, they at least on the two that I was on that Delta flight, they I'm on the Jedi, Sam. I'm on the Jedi. You should know this by heart, man. But yeah, they poured it out of a bottle. All right. I haven't flown into Atlanta in a while. I was supposed to go this week, but I dropped it. I got you covered for Atlanta ops info. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and start on down. Manage descent, mock descent. Sounds are coming up. Let's go to work, chat. Let's pull out our EFB. Man, that went fast. How long have we been live? We've been live 2 hours, 2.5 hours, man. This stream just flew by. Arrival. You got 27 left on the Jedi? Yeah, let's land 27 left on the Jedi. Man, we're gonna change everything around here. Atlanta, arrival, 27 left. I don't want any of this 2.6 stuff. I think Silva, right, is for 2.7. So let's go. Let's go back to the approaches. Yeah, Silva. Linked up via Silva. Port heading first, because I am Tejales. I am not Honeywell goaded. Alright, we're Thales. Thales software. Mach Des down to 28, or actually down to 10. We'll actually set Silva's at 7. So we'll set 10 for right now. On the Jedi 3 RNAV, the bottom altitude at Daffy is actually 8, so let's set 8,000. We can do that. 8,000 is set per the mini FCU. We'll land 27 left, right-hand turn off. More drag required, it says. We're supposed to be at or above 14,290. We're at 27 feet. Let's get some speed brake action on. Let's go ahead and get the... yeah, that's on. That's all good. We're looking good now. Does anyone not make you do that? No, it doesn't. It only... there's one case where it does, Sam. But no, on the star like that, you can go ahead and just boom, boom, boom. It knows where you're at. It reloads you. Good to go. I think there is one scenario where it does do that, though, and I can't remember what it... Maybe it's... I can't remember. Is the Fenix Thales? Yeah, the Fenix is Thales. Honeywell's goated. I thought it would be rude to ask the flight attendant to take my bottled water and boil it for me, but the thought did cross my mind. Now that, Callie Simmer, I want to see that happen. I want to be sitting in the seat next to you when you ask that. Excuse me, ma'am, could you take this and boil it for my tea? That'd be great. All right, we're back down on profile. We're looking good. As far as all the environmentals, 27 left, bottom is 1199, I think. If that serves me right, 1199. I do remember that. And then the other stuff, we'll just do it from here now because we're just having a chill flight. We don't need to use our ACARs. Let me refresh. All right. Ooh, 3 miles. Thunderstorm, light rain. Wow. Since when? 24, 2999. I bet Atlanta is all jacked up, if that's true. Bumpy ride on the descent.
Bank angle.
Just checking in from work to say it was great meeting you and many others. Thanks for taking a pic with me and my son and for the great dinner conversations.
Hey, Tootco, Tootco. Thank you so much for the $10 bank angle check. Yes, it was an absolute pleasure to meet y'all. Tootco, absolutely love taking the photo with your son. I hope he enjoyed it. That was just awesome all around. Thank you so much for being there and supporting the channel and everything that you've done to support me all these months and years. And I look forward to the next one, man. I really, really do. It was a really great experience. All right, we're out of 18, 2994 is set once, twice, and thrice. Seatbelt sign is coming on. V1 Expo 2026. FUBAR, it's happening, dude. So, for 2026, yeah, I'm gonna be better prepared for 2026. I will definitely be better prepared. And I think we'll have, the hats are now a thing. So I'll either have a few select hats. I might do the problem with hats is it's hard to get your size right, you know? So, but for anybody that's a hardcore, maybe I'm gonna see if I can get like a custom one. We'll see. And then definitely shirts. And then we got to pick one day where you wear the, like a V1 flight crew shirt or something. Probably 12 spare shirts, yeah, and I will definitely bring another spare shirt. Luckily, the shirts that I spilled, I mean, it was like, I always carry Tide to go to as well, you know. I've learned that. Fly on all these years. Always have a Tide to go pin. If I go, I'm wearing a baseball hat to be unique. Nah, Sam, you're gonna wear a V1 hat. You better go, Sam. You got no excuse to not go, dude. You do that route. Oh, the rave, V1 rave Thursday night. I didn't get to go to the X-Rave. I was hoping I would be able to. I actually wanted to go check it out, but you know, my travel plans got all whacked up. What's up, Dan? How you doing, bud? Yeah, you can always do laundry at Vodka's. That's true. There's a Western store at Mall of America for next year. Gotta have a real Western store. Party at the MOA Hooters. Be aware that V1 is truly a magenta following up and trusted across the street. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Going back from dinner at Chaos is like, yeah, we're just going to cross the street here. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Clear left. I started walking out into the street. Almost got ran over. I told him, I was like, look, I'm only used to clearing left. I forget to look right. And that's where the cars were coming from. So don't follow me. Don't follow me. Bills Mafia, yeah, hope you make it, man. Josh Allen, oh, get out of here. No Josh Allen jerseys. Let's see, by next year, Bills Mafia, yeah, the season will be over, so you'll already be crying that Josh Allen failed you another year. That's right. No women were present. Yeah, I didn't see very many. XP's wife went. I really hope Miss V1 will be able to go with me on the next one. Trying to ride this. Yeah, see? This is very accurate VNAV. with how not on speed it is. Very accurate. Alright. Let's bring our cams back up. That's coming back up. Let's get ready. Chewy at or above 11, 250. We're looking good now. Wow, look at that. That's real life, Jack. A Hotel Alphas. Or an Alpha 7 Zulu shirt, Tango Kilo. Yeah, we do. Flight Doc. Hey, it was great to meet you as well, Flight Doc. I did meet Flight Doc, famous Flight Doc YouTuber, man. It was a pleasure to meet you as well. Hey, I heard you had fun on that X-ray, Flight Doc. I heard you had a lot of fun. Oh, you meant at the X-ray. Sorry, KW. I don't know. I was not at the X-ray. I don't know how many females were there, but I think Flight Doc can tell you. Flight Doc knows all about females at the X-ray. All right, 11. Oh my gosh. All right, there we go. Let's get our lights on. Coming into Hotland, I know controllers on. We'll turn on all our lights. Yeah, yeah, Hawks, I will, man. Tell the missus, no clothing, I know. Or no clothing, Jesus. No sales tax on clothing. Alright, it's time. It's time. Activate, confirmate. 250 selected speed, activated and confirmed. VAP 138, that checks. What doesn't happen at X-Ray stays firmly at X-Ray. Turk Karen says, I just launched a Fenix after flying the FS Labs for a while. It's like getting in a Lambo after riding a camel. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Look at this beautiful sight. This is a gorgeous approach. My goodness. Miss V1 still needs to tell us who won the photo contest. Oh, I know, right? I know. V1, is that AceRock 7900 GPU the only GPU used? If so, how much does that allow you to turn up your graphics? Brian, yeah, it's the only thing I'm running right now. The AceRock, whatever it is, 97X GT Elemento P. I don't know AMD stuff, but it's been solid for me so far, man. Yeah, I run pretty much ultra and high on all my stuff. The only thing I do is when we're streaming, I run auto LOD. And that's about it, man. It's been solid. Oh, Dan, you're on the vertical stream, Dan. So there's two streams, Dan. You're on the you're on the stream that is for optimized for mobile users. If you go to the main channel page, you should see the full stream with the full chat box. All right, Daffy at 8. Oh my gosh, I forgot. Someone was supposed to call me. Hold on. Yep. I gotta end this. We gotta land, chat. All right, 8,000 feet is set. Let's descend and maintain 6,000. Thrust throttle open, descend. Down we go. There's thunder and lightning going on. Let's get flight recorder ready. I don't think I have an ATL scenery. Rip. Because, V1, because the GPU is very affordable and will be such a solid upgrade right now using NVIDIA 4060. Oh, yeah. If you're coming from a 4060, Ryan, it's going to be a big upgrade, man. Big upgrade. Brian, I haven't done AMD in a long time. I've vowed against ever using AMD. This is my first AMD build since like early 2000s. And so far it's been all right. I mean, it's been more than all right. I had some issues early on because I didn't do a DDU wipe. But other than that, we're good. All right, we're descending to 6,000. 1,000 to level off. Once we hit 6, we'll pull it back to 210. You just bought more AMD stock? Dude, you gotta tell me you're buying these. You're my investor. My investing influencer. Am I happy with the extra VRAM? Yeah, absolutely. Without the VRAM, I would not be able to fly 2024. And stream it, at the very least. Let me rephrase. Without the VRAM, I would not be able to fly 2024 on the settings that I want to fly it and stream it. So, yes, it made a big difference for what I was looking for. All right, coming back to 210. Lightning on the field down there. VRAM makes 2024 great again. Need that 24 gig. Yep. It's the AMD. I'll tell you what, hard. Just type exclamation point specs. Here you go. That gives you all of everything I'm running. All right, VFE next minus 10 flaps 1. Here we go. Slats only. All right, pull heading, and let's shoot a line off of CJ096, insert, boom, pull heading, CJ's at or above 5, we'll descend to 5,000, thrust throttle open, descent, down we go. Wow, I just picked a random time to fly, but man, we sure picked the right time. That lighting is sweet. It's been a bumpy flight. I mean, look at the airline. We're getting rocked. FS Labs update, chat. Yay or nay? I haven't even. All I heard was that it got an update, the Neo specifically. Should we check it out? Do we need to check out the FS Labs Neo update? Hawks. Oh, the Aerosoft Tolless collab. I'm super excited for, man. I was listening to the presentation when they were on stage. Yeah, I'm super excited, man. I would love to see what they are going to bring to the table, man. Do you need a liquid cooler? Brian, I don't believe you need one. I run one, but I do not believe you need one. VFE next minus 10, we're coming through S-speed flaps 2. It does have wing flex now, Captain McGee? All right. Turk says nah. Turk was definitely less trolly in real life. Paxman, yeah, you told me. It's definitely bumpy, man. The resident glazer gave the FSL update thumbs down. Uh-oh. When's this BFU update going to drop? I thought for sure... You know what, chat? Nobody tell Amir that I dropped my trip Wednesday, because I bet they were going to release it on Wednesday, because that's when I had to go to work for 2 days. So I bet you it releases... Well, no, Thursday. Excuse me. Thursday, Friday. Yeah, I was going to go to work Thursday, Friday. I bet you they were planning on releasing it Thursday, Friday. Oh, look, I forgot my LS push buttons. LS, there we go. Blinking at you, blinking at me. I bet you they were trying to release it when I was at work. Alright, here comes... Look at that. Oh my word. Recording is on, so I don't forget. Delta 357, maintain 5,000 total steps, cleared ILS, runway 27 left approach. 5 total steps, cleared ILS, 27 left. Delta 357. Alright, Lodestar, glide slope blue. Turn and final. And Delta 357, be advised, aircraft front end went around for a wind shear. Lost 15 knots on final, 26 right. Delta 357, roger. So, because it's a wind shear not on our associated runway, we can continue the approach. If they came up and said, hey, it was on 27 left, then you would probably punch out here, come back around. Delta 357, maintain 100 knots, tell depot. Contact tower depot, 25.5. I don't know what the freak is, I just made it up, but that's what they do. Here comes the glide slope. Glide slope star, going altitude set 3,000 blue. What is go around altitude, chat? Going altitude is a 4,000. Going altitude set 4,000 blue. Have you ever been hit by lightning? I have. Relatively uneventful. I've been hit a handful of times. Only one time was it like really wow, super loud. One time we actually had a hole in the empennage of an E-jet. Yeah, I saw. Look at those lightning strikes, man. Oh my gosh, did you see that? Oh my gosh. Did you see that lightning strike? Oh my gosh, the chat. We're getting hit by lightning. Oh my gosh. Chat. Hope the static licks are working. That was pretty. Look at the sky. Oh my gosh. Screenshot. Wow. I'm actually scared. Let's go ahead and bump up our VAP here for a possible wind shear. 137. Let's give myself 3 extra knots. 140 is set. Chat. It's been a long time since we've gone live. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. Get the streams back into the algorithm. Help me out. It's free and easy. Like button achieved. Going through a little rain right now. Tower Delta 357, just outside depot, 27 left. Delta 357 on Atlanta Tower, runway 27 left, clear land, caution, wind shear reported, runway 26 right, lost 10 knots on final, 300 feet. Got towering the cumulonimbus west of the field, north-northwest, all quadrants. All right, 180 at depot. Manage speed, gear down. Flaps 3. Iffy next, minus 10 flaps full, landing checklist. Cabin crew advised auto thrust, speed, auto brakes are off, ECAM memo, landing all green, landing checks is complete. Autopilot's off. Cat 1. We'll let the auto thrust do auto thrust things here until I say otherwise. I'm actually a little bit nervous. My hands are my hand's a little bit clammy, chat. I don't know if I'm nervous or if it's just 97 degrees in my HQ right now. But both are true. That looks so real. The way the light, I mean, that is
1,000.
That is real life. That is 100% real life here. Wind's kind of shifted off there. They were pretty stable, quartering headwind. Now they kind of died off and are swirling.
Above.
Look at that shear, look at that shear. Look at that sheared with tailwind.
200. Minimum 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
Spoilers. Reverse green. Manual brake. Decel. Jeez. I was trying to see if that wind, if it was going to get up above 10 knots there on the tail. 70 knots. We'll take this exit here. Don't make the next guy go around. Whew. I was right at the tailwind limit there, chat. That was right at the tailwind limit. My goodness. Wow. We'll pretend to land as being nice, and we'll take the double right here, and then we'll cross. Not going to send us, what is it, Tango Tango? We're going to go clear right, clear left, we'll go straight across. Matthew, how's the Phoenix been in 24? It's been flawless, dude. It is experimental. It's not officially supported until, I believe, BFU, right? But it's been flawless for me, man. It's been flawless.
To perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you
all right, after land check, let's just clean it up.
fasten seatbelt sign is portable electronic devices for messaging, calls, or internet.
I'll clear these. Those are coming off. Those off. Strobe, wing, down to taxi. Whew, yeah. Spicy meatball. Alright, we'll just come up here. We'll take the next entrance and we'll do a replay. I want to see that replay. It looked buttery. It was, man, though, we almost smashed, but I was just like, we got to bring it back. With the extra 3 knots, though, you know, it's carrying a little bit extra energy. It does make a difference. You will float it if you're not careful, but that swirly tailwind, especially a quartering tailwind's even worse than a direct tailwind. That quartering tailwind there, 9-10 knots, man, you can really you can really chunk it if you're not careful. So it was not the best landing ever. It was not the worst. That is for sure. We'll take it right in here. Ramp 3. Ramp 2, ramp 1, whatever it is. Hot shot. Boris is in the house. Boris, my man. Why is my 757 sound pack watching the stream and not working on the Bluebird 7.5? What's up, Boris? Dude, it was awesome to meet you, man. Man, can you imagine flying this livery with the actual Neo engines on the Fenix? The 100 years, it's a Pratt & Whitney Neo, right? It's not the CFM. That's why we don't have it on the slabs. FS Labs, right? We don't have it on this one because it's Pratt. You will never guess what I'm working on at the moment. I bet you I could guess. I bet you I could guess, but I won't. We'll leave our taxi light on, like the real Delta guys that left the taxi light on my flight. So we'll blind the rampers. Golly, I know they're coming out with new sounds, but these sounds are freaking awesome. Erp. Oh, no, did I erp it in time? Oh, chat, we were late on the erp. Park brake is set. Let's go into replay mode. Mathis, FS24, how's it going over there? Good to see you, man. All right, chat, let's take a look at the replay. Wait, before I do that, we're not going to shut down. We're going to end the flight here. And we will see what our landing was according to Volanta. Oh, what? Dude, Volanta is so rigged, dude. Got robbed again. Where's XP? A 225. Volanta gave us 225. I'll see. We'll see. Let's turn the lights on. Let's go back. Let's check out the replay. No shutdown. Shutdowns are mid. Replay is coming up. Let's run it forward here a little bit. Look at that, though. My goodness. Flaps full, park brake off. The 100 years of Neo, I think. Well, yeah, no, there's yeah, it's a Neo, but it's a Leap Neo, right? Or no, excuse me. The 321 Neo, the 100 years Neo is a Pratt & Whitney Neo. It's not an FS Labs Neo. Or, golly, I can't talk. I still need more sleep. You know what I'm trying to say. Mathis, I am using the Fenix A321 CEO. Yeah, it's only Pratt's. That's what I'm trying to say. It only has Pratt & Whitney, so the reason we don't have it on the FS Labs is because the FS Labs is a Leap Neo. That's what I was trying to verbalize. What auto brake? None. I land with awesome brake, aka manual braking. Auto brakes off, awesome brakes on. V1 is broken, same as me. Used to Zippy. Hi, man, you gotta have quite the recovery, huh? 45,000 steps over the weekend. Jeez, Zippy. Yeah, dude, they're cooking. Let me put the auto thrust back on because we had auto thrust engaged. Yeah.
500.
That was one of the most scenic approaches I think I've ever done in the sim. The way the clouds were and the lighting and the lightning, that was definitely one of the most scenic I've ever seen. I got 50,000 steps in one day in Boston.
300.
Jeez, that is crazy.
200.
Everyone getting out of the expo been delayed or canceled? Yeah, it's like me getting into the expo.
200.
Mine was the opposite. I was delayed getting in, got out on time. Well, kind of.
100.
We're a little bit late. All right, are we robbed? Are we robbed, chat? Let's see. Oh, I don't know. I don't think we were robbed. Let's pop the reversers so we'll have it on the subsequent replay. All right. I don't know.
Don't sink.
Don't sink. Were we robbed? Hotshot, I was the one that landed the smoothest 7.5 at Expo, right? Could have had more flare. I think that's just modeling of the tailwind. I mean, look, we flared it. I flared it as where I wanted to flare. There was really struggles to arrest that descent there when you have that tailwind. Yeah, I mean, we're at a good pitch attitude. Wow, look at that big dark gray cloud coming in. All right, I'm going to go back to right.
Too low. Terrain.
20.
Don't
Here.
sink.
Let's set the camera out. We'll do this. Handcrafted ATL was not terrible either. Let's unlock, or let's lock you. Captain Simp, thoughts on the Bluebird 7.5? Oh, dude, I think it's awesome, man. Oh, that looked like a greaser from that angle. Yeah, I flew. That was the first booth I went to, Captain Simp, was Bluebird. First booth I went there. First booth I went to. And it was great. I mean, totally legal. Looked juicy to me. All right. That's it. I'm going to wind it back. I'll let y'all have a full replay. Chat, it has been a pleasure to be live once again. I don't think we are doing... Yeah, we're not doing a second stream. But tomorrow... Tomorrow we will be live again, and maybe we'll hit up tomorrow with 2 streams. I'm trying to get back to that juicy sunset. I don't know where we were at. It was like orange. There we go. About like that. All right. I'm gonna get some more sleep. I'm gonna get some more steak. Recovery process is still in effect, but it was an absolute pleasure meeting every single one of you at FS Expo. I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the stream talking about the Expo and all of our festivities. I'm sure there will be more questions to come, and we'll cross those bridges when we get there. But for now, I'm going to sign off. I'll leave you with the replay, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. Maybe in the slabs. Who knows? Or maybe in a starship. Y'all are awesome. Stay safe, stealthy on V1. 2.
1,000. 500.